I've already had enough of this 2022 list. That's just that's what
I
I'm
forgot
going
to
to
do an
say.
intro, actually. What's a good intro? What's like?
No,
Ma.
you've done that already.
Oh, have we done that?
Oh,
All right, we'll do another
shit.
intro.
Think of something that came out this year.
What came out this year?
See, now this is the problem. That this
I don't remember what came out this year.
Nah, this is an intro
No,
all
to
in
do,
itself,
like-
isn't it, really?
I had to like go to my list, see what came out.
Think of a good quote from a movie from this year.
Couldn't tell you, mate. Couldn't fucking tell you.
Oh, no.
Here's a good one. Nope. Welcome to the Sunday Booming Marathon, episode 106, I believe.
Yeah.
In the new year, I'm Max,
I'm Chris.
I'm Darcy.
coming to you from 2023, the very first day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is coming
we'll
out
try.
January 1st.
We'll try it.
Oh, shit. We're like time traveling.
We're like in the
Yeah.
future or something.
Shit.
We're recording this on December the 30th.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah,
2022.
This is
The
our
year
life.
is yet to be over, but we've watched everything that we need to watch, and this is this episode telling you what we watched and all that. How have we been? Because we took that week off for Christmas. How were all our Christmases?
Yeah, it was a good Christmas.
It was a good Christmas.
It was a good Christmas.
I asked Max beforehand and I said, actually, I'm just going to ask you on the pod again anyway, so I'm just not even going to bother asking. And
Yeah,
now
it
I
was
can ask
good.
him, how was it?
It was good. I had 2 days of it, really. So I had like Christmas Day with my mum, Boxing Day with my dad, and just the rest of the time to sort of wallow.
Yeah.
Just the rest of it, I don't know. I don't like it. The rest of it.
Yeah, no, it's...
There's 2 days. Now that just time goes on again.
Oh, what I don't like is, this like in-between bit that apparently they've named Twixmas or something. Twismas. I don't know what the fuck the
Well, I'm
radio
a
was talking
vegan.
about.
I don't eat Twix.
Not vegan either. It's apparently that time between Christmas and New Year, and I hate this time because for me, it throws me out of whack completly. Like, I don't even know what day it is. Is it Friday? Is it Saturday? Someone tell
I
me.
don't know.
I don't
At the
even
moment,
know.
I don't know.
It's just how
Yeah.
I felt about
It is
it.
weird.
Yeah.
I don't have work until the new year. So in some sense, it's
No.
like, I can do whatever I want to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
So that's kind of fun. I've been having fun just like being
Living your
longing
life.
out,
Yeah.
which I haven't
Yeah.
really done for ages. And I forgot how good it was to be just like sleep in and lie on the sofa and watch TV and read books. I finished like a whole book really. Like the other day, I was like, why don't I just like go back to this book? And I finished it. It was like sort of nearly halfway through, and I read like 200 pages in 3 days.
Yeah.
And with somebody with dyspraxia, that does not happen very often for me.
Yeah, I watched quite a few movies and
That you have.
binged an entire TV show in one sitting without a break.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, I did that with a couple of shows actually. It was like, Jesus, it's like a whole day just dedicated to one show.
Yeah.
It's like insane.
I went back to work for 3 days. Now I'm back off for another 5 days. So
How does
Yeah,
it feel?
Yeah, I bet.
it was pointless going back to work, but
Mhm.
it's nice to have
I
another
felt the
break.
same, to be fair. Although the last 2 days have been agony. I got
Yeah.
dropped off like literally like the whole store's worth of items, and they were like, "There you go, sort that out." But I did it all,
Happy New
so
Year.
we're good. We're good. But yeah, I've got like 5 days off now, so tomorrow's going to be glorious when I sleep into the time that I normally get up for work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not really a lay-in. To be fair, it is a lay-in really, because when you only live like 10 minutes down the road, you don't
Mhm.
have to get up really early to go to work. Like
Yeah.
some unfortunate souls do. Like when Chris has
Yeah.
to get up at 6 to get in for like 8:30, whereas I can just get up at like 8 really if I wanted to. If I really wanted to, I could get up at 8 and just leave if
Yeah.
I wanted to.
Yeah, I've slept until like 9, maybe even 9:30 some
Yeah,
days.
we set alarms for like...
woohoo.
yeah,
I think
like
even
9.
today I woke up at 9:30. I was like, whoo, damn, I don't even feel bad about it. This is the life. I used to feel bad about it, like waking up quite late. If you consider
That's the
9:30.
thing, it's not
quite
even late,
late.
is it, to
No.
be honest?
I'm like, damn. But no, I didn't. I also didn't go to the gym for about 5 days, and then like that's very irregular for me.
Well, have you been
So then
back
I went
yet?
back, and I was like, oh, what the fuck? I was so tired. I was so tired and just really out of it. I was like,
That's kind
Jesus.
of how I felt yesterday, to be honest. When you go back to work after a couple of days off, and you obviously like, at Christmas you don't move from the sofa for very long. And imagine I'm just like, oh shit, I've got all this work to do now. and I just wasn't in it. And then I was like, oh, maybe I should go. Like, but then you get into it. So like last night, I was cleaning the bathroom, I was cleaning the kitchen, I was folding up all the clothes, and I was like, oh, I could have gone to the gym with all this like extra newfounded energy that I've got here, but I didn't, and I probably won't go back until after the 4th.
No, I just had a lot of fun, like eating a bit, not like loads. I think people like to eat a lot over Christmas, but I don't really care about doing that. I'm more like drunk a lot. I drank quite a bit. I got through collectively maybe like 2 bottles of rum to myself.
What in 2 days or longer though?
Maybe 2 or 3 days, I think. So
I don't think that's that bad.
But for me, it's like, whoa, god damn.
It's still quite a lot.
It is quite a lot, yeah. Collectively, I'm thinking. I don't have like
just down 2 bottles of rum at once.
It's just like altogether, I think about 2 bottles worth of it. I got like a really nice mango rum, and I was just like, I was on that. That's so nice. Mango rum.
That's good.
Yeah.
I haven't. And
now it's like it's out of that period, but I still have all this rum and beer.
I think until New Year's Day, you could probably get away with
work,
it.
I could probably be like, just keep going. Why not?
Don't you both go back on like the same day as well? Or am I just you go back on Tuesday, don't you?
No, I go back on Wednesday.
So there we go. But until then, woohoo! We're just keeping the good vibes going.
Yeah,
but it is creeping up to me. I'm like, I feel that sort of
the
midwinter
low
sort of depression
in,
coming in, like the winter blues. Right, I've sort of staved it off, but now it's like, oh man, better start making things happen. Otherwise, I'm not going to be doing too well in a couple of days. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think that's the. My dad always says this, like, you know, when you take time off work for a little bit and you get into like the festivities and stuff like that, and then you go back and you're like, you just want to die.
Yeah, because you don't know what you're missing when you're in it.
You're like, oh fuck.
Oh man, look at all the fun I could have been having and all the thing. I could have stayed in bed until like 9, maybe even 9:30.
Like I was living the life.
God, imagine that. Who's been keeping this from me?
Capitalism, that's what it is, Max.
But yeah, we're here to talk about 2022 and all it did for us, and just the times and life and times we had. It's been quite a year.
God, we sound like we're in our own movie.
I feel like it went quite quickly. It went.
I had the complete opposite. It felt like about 10 years.
Jesus.
But I did have a lot of shit happen, like within 12 months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was quite a hectic year.
Did it feel like a short... I don't know. I'm somewhere in between. I feel like I've almost done 2 years worth of stuff. Does that make sense? Like, you know how you always go from like January and then by about August or so, you're in a completely different like state of being. It's really fucking weird. And then you feel like the other half was like a different year. It just feels like 2 years have been like shaved into one. It's really bizarre.
Like a lot happened, and like a lot happened, it feels like it should have been longer, or like those things should have happened over a longer period of time. I broke my ankle. That was this year where I like stacked it coming down from Snowdon and ruined my ankle forever. Yeah. I'll never get over that. I couldn't believe that was like,
I can't believe that
May
was
or something. That was like really like middle of the year, but it feels like years ago, honestly.
What?
I started 2 new jobs this year.
Jesus, yeah, you did as well. Oh my God.
Me and Darcy were in a viral news story.
You were? Yeah, of course. Oh, yeah.
No, I keep forgetting about this, and then someone will bring it up and I'll go, oh yeah, sorry, I was actually on my way to forgetting about all of that.
I went to the pub with a couple of my old schoolmates yesterday, and I was like, I haven't seen them in, like, one of them I've not seen in 2 years. And I was like, so this is what's happened since I saw you. And I brought it up, and he was like, oh my God, you were there. Because he's heard the story.
Yeah.
I literally had friends from like back home that I hadn't talked to in like years, like no joke, like, you know, people that used to go to high school with, and they tagged me in the stories like, Darcy, wasn't you at this thing? And I was like, yes, I was. Like very begrudgingly, like messaging people like.
I heard about that story on like podcasts I just regularly listen to. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, like
why am I hearing about this?
Yeah, Catherine Ryan. Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? This is weird.
It was everywhere. Like, what's it? Jeremy Kyle talked about it
this morning. They were on there.
Yeah, and then there's like, and then I was like in the papers, and like, my dad was like grabbing copies of the papers and going, "This you," and I was like, "Yes, that is me." It's so weird.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
yeah,
this year.
Jesus Christ!
Probably
What a
come
lot.
up with more stuff that we. Oh, we went to Cornwall.
Mm.
I fucking keep forgetting about
Darcy
that.
went twice because I went
What?
with her.
What's Cornwall?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like gigs.
Oh
like,
yeah,
right?
we went to
we
the
met
Eden
we
thing.
met Ed and Anne, who easily could have just murdered us in our sleep. Or it's always up to me to always go, Chris, let's take a chance on these random strangers. Do you want to go stay with them in Cornwall for 3 nights? And Chris is like, I guess so.
I got nothing better to do.
Yeah.
And then that
And it's
happened.
worked out. We're now good friends.
Yeah, they're coming
Mhm.
tomorrow actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
they didn't murder us, so that's always good. God,
You know
what
what
a
they
fucking
say?
year, man.
A friend who doesn't murder you is a friend for life.
That is true. Just a weird year.
So, shall we get on to how weird the year was? We're talking about some TV
Okay.
shows and some movies.
I guess so. I find that to be the least weird of everything that's happened this year, to be honest.
A lot that came out, a
Yeah.
lot that was watched. Went to the cinema more times than I feel I should have.
I feel the actual opposite. I felt like I went a lot more last year than
Mhm.
this year.
Yeah, I think I did as well.
Yeah. But
I
then
still
again,
went a lot.
I just don't feel like I had many reasons to go this year.
Yeah. I think when Max was talking about it the other day, when he said how many times he went to the cinema, I was like, I feel like I probably went about a dozen times, and I counted it. It was like 30 or something.
But yeah, Jesus. Yeah.
That's like
Let's see.
that's like
They don't.
that's like nearly like 3/4 of a year's worth of
Yeah.
Yeah.
fucking
I saw
movie
like,
trips.
obviously a lot of new stuff, but I got a chance to see a lot of like classic movies this year as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like seeing the first 2 Godfather movies were probably like the highlights in terms of seeing films in the cinema this
Oh yeah,
year.
that was
They were great.
that wasn't
like-
even that early on, was it? That was like
April. I
yeah,
think.
it was quite late.
I feel like I saw some movies in the cinema from days gone by.
Yeah.
Oh, we
Me-
watched It's a Wonderful Life
Yeah,
like the
I
other
was
day.
going to say.
Oh, that was great.
I love
Yeah,
how
so
it said,
good.
like days gone by. It was like 3
Yeah, it was
days
like
ago.
the other last week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a week ago.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That
that was
sounds
great.
about right.
That was so good.
Yeah. So cool. Awesome.
Yeah, how to be?
So we don't really know how to structure this. We're
No, I
just
feel
kind of
like should we
going
just
about
Should we just
how
bounce?
we're going like shows first, I think. Who did shows last year?
Sorry.
We'll end it with the movies this year.
Okay, let's bounce off
We
each
watched
other.
a lot of shows, I think, that we've got like lists for. I've got my big list on all the shows I watched, all of them from this year and also from other years that I decided to watch.
My TV list is absolutely
Yeah.
diabolical.
I was going to do like a worst to best on my TV, and I think I completely forgot because I've literally just got a random list that's in no particular order.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
I've actually like got a coherent list here, but I feel like I've watched nothing, so I was just like scrambling to put things together just to talk
Mhm.
about them. But I don't feel like I have anything worthy of talking about
Yeah.
that none of like either of you are gonna say better than I will. But I'll see what you guys say, and maybe I'll just bounce in and out.
Yeah. Because a lot of these are like just background shows that I put on the background, just
exactly.
because I had nothing else to watch. Like
Mm.
I don't know, like Always Sunny was sort of like that.
I can't believe that
Rick
was
and
this
Morty
year.
had a season out this year, where it was like I couldn't tell you what the fuck any of it was. I don't remember.
I'm like 2
Mate,
or 3
not-
seasons behind, but I don't know if I'll
Yeah.
ever go back to it. I just don't really
No,
have any
yeah.
interest anymore.
It's a bit naff nowadays. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I watched about 2 seasons of. I watched like 3 seasons of SpongeBob, which is always great. Bob's Burgers, I steamed through that show.
Oh yeah,
All 12 seasons of it.
Oh yeah,
That's
I think there was
fucked.
actually a season out this year that we watched.
Yeah, no, but I remember we got Max to watch it.
Yeah,
because of
yeah, because we're all
Movies.
up to date with it. But I
Mhm.
completely forgot they put out a new season this year. But
Oh, I didn't even know that, so that's not on
Yeah.
my list.
was it even this year?
yeah, there was a
Really?
new one out that came out alongside around about the same time the movie.
Oh
No.
mate, see, this is what I mean. Like, if it ain't a brand new TV show, I won't remember if it had
Yeah.
a new season or not. You know what I mean? I'm one of them people. Although I do have things here that have had new seasons, but there's only like 3 of them on here,
Mm-hmm.
and one of them is one of the worst shows I've ever watched.
Nice.
But it's like great.
The Adventures of Paddington was a highlight.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
we
see
watched that
that?
bit of
Yeah, I think we like
Yeah.
with that Patrick Star show. We watched like an episode of that. That was
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
awful. That.
I didn't put down like old shows I watched. I
No,
only
yeah.
put down the
Yeah.
new ones.
I did. I'm just gonna fuck it. The Crown season 1 to 4 I watched. I haven't watched the last season yet, but we'll get around to that eventually. Euphoria, I watched season 1. Sorry, what?
Wait a minute. Oh, are you talking about shows that didn't come out this?
Yeah, I'm just like going through them.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. I didn't.
Oh fuck! Yeah, I didn't even
like a thing. We didn't have to do that.
Yeah, no, I didn't even click onto that. Yeah,
I watched Euphoria season 1, which was very good, but I got about two episodes into season 2 and couldn't be bothered with the rest of it.
Not great.
Yeah. Always Sunny, season 15. I think that came out last year.
Yeah, it came out last year, but this year over here.
Well, okay. Derry Girls season 1 and 2. That's a really great show. The Prince is in the Press. I watched this like documentary about like Prince Harry and William. I couldn't for the here's how they dealt with the press. It was like okay,
okay.
Whatever. Archer season 11 and 12. I don't know what. I don't even remember that. Game of Thrones. I keep
forgetting Archer's still going.
It's still going. I think it had like a new season out this year.
Yeah, it did.
Very recently.
I swear that's been going on since like the dawn of time.
I couldn't tell you what it was about. Game of Thrones, I watched again, season 1 of that. That's really good.
Yeah.
Stage, season 1 of that with David Tennant and Michael Sheen. That's worth the watch. That's like a show they created when they were in COVID and they had nothing to do, really.
Yeah, I've heard about this. They did it over like web chats and whatever, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Web chats? What am I, 90?
Gravity Falls, that was a Disney show.
Oh, I love that show.
We watched a little bit of that, but that was like the year before.
Yeah, I've not finished it. I've only watched the first season, I think, but I really love it. I need to carry on.
That is good. That's one that stays consistent.
Yeah.
You know, and it ends where it should. Garth Marenghi's Dark Place is a great one. I talked about that on the podcast, actually, on my solo ep. Man Down, that was the show that's on Netflix. I think it was like a Channel 4 show, but that's like got Greg Davies in it.
Oh, yeah.
That's a very background type of show. Like, don't pay loads of attention to that.
Yeah, I've been meaning to watch it. I like Greg Davies.
Yeah. And Over the Garden Wall, that's always good. I really like that.
That's great.
Like, a lot more this second go round where I watched it. I think last year or the year before, but this year it was like, oh fuck, this is awesome. And like, it was really emotional as well. I was like, wow, what the fuck? Why?
Yeah, it is.
Cartoon Network, man, they're putting out some crackers. Well, they used to. I don't know about anything
I don't think they are anymore.
No.
All the good stuff's getting cancelled.
I can't say I've kept up with Cartoon Network in a long time.
I think probably the best one I watched was Dark, which is the Netflix show, the German Netflix show.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spoil it, really, because I want you guys to watch it. But it's fucking weird, man. And it probably is like top 5 shows that Netflix have ever done. I think it's it's so solid. And the first and second season probably the strongest, but the third season is still really good. It's got this like really weird stuff going on with like time travel and like different timelines and all that.
Okay.
And, like, it's such a show where like you have to know exactly, you have to pay attention, otherwise you're like completely lost, and all these different pieces connect to different strands and like all these different characters you have to remember or whatever. It's like Game of Thrones if like they time traveled.
Oh god.
In terms of like the scope of it, it's so expansive.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah.
It's a really solid fucking show. I love that, and that did become probably one of my favorite shows ever. Actually, it's really good, and I would recommend that. So, how are we going to do this then for this year? Just list off what did you guys watch?
Yeah, how about we just go through what we've seen, because I feel like that might be the easiest way for me to navigate this.
Do you want me to start?
You can start, and I'll just tell you what I watched that you hadn't watched. There's only one show I can think of that you hadn't watched.
Yeah, maybe. I'll just go in the order that I've written it down.
I think you guys watched a lot of the same shows because you live together.
Yeah. This does happen.
I started like doing a best to worst, and then I gave up about after the second one, because then the rest is just like random shit.
That wasn't even like a try. At least I gave it a go. Like mine actually has structure to it.
Obviously, I watched the newest and final season of Better Call Saul, which I fucking loved. I really, really loved that show. I'm a huge Breaking Bad fan, and I was very hesitant when they announced Better Call Saul originally. And the first season I wasn't the biggest fan of, but it really found its stride in the second season. It only got better and better to the point where I think it may even be slightly better than Breaking Bad overall. It's a completely different show, but it's so good. Really, really love it. Highly recommend it.
That's quite a statement to put out there, to be fair.
Yeah, but it's great. Not enough people watched it, I don't think. It seemed like everyone who watched it loved it, but not enough people were watching it. House of the Dragon, of course, we watched season 1. We spoke about that on the podcast. Really great shit. Heartstopper, Netflix's adaptation of the graphic novel series.
I have every one of them lurking in this house somewhere.
Really, really liked that show. I'm looking forward to the next season of that.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be quite good. I heard they're gonna tie it into another one of like Alice Oseman's books. So it should be quite interesting. I had quite fun time with it. I think we watched it all in like one go, to be fair.
Yeah, we watched it over like 2 days, I think.
Yeah. It was great.
Yeah, great show. Obviously, new season of Stranger Things was really great.
That was great.
Maybe
launched Kate Bush's career.
Yeah,
it launched her career.
Maybe my favourite season so far. I'm not sure. Maybe on par with the first one. Actually,
maybe the first one is a bit better for me.
Yeah,
but I don't really remember the rest of them.
This is it. I've only seen the first 2, and I thought the second one was so boring. I stopped watching.
I didn't like the second one at all. I liked the third one quite a bit, but yeah, really great stuff. I mean that scene that was on TikTok a lot. That Kate Bush scene where she's like floating up into the sky. That whole sequence is like probably the best thing I saw on TV this year. It was so incredible. Just really great usage of music.
They really pulled it back. Yeah, here we go. It's good now.
Oh,
it's good again. I want them to like kind of wrap it up in the next one, maybe.
I think it's meant. Yeah, I think they're splitting it in half, though, aren't they, or something like that?
I don't know.
Yeah, because I swear the last season was like 4 million years long, even though there wasn't that many episodes.
Split it up, yeah.
Every
2 chunks.
Yeah,
every episode was like an hour and a half, except for the last one, which was 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I just
it's fucked up.
At that point, it's just a fucking movie.
Yeah.
I watched it like in one sitting as well. I was like, Jesus Christ!
How did you
quite
do
a while
that?
To get through it. Yeah. I think I watched the first chunk when that came out, and then when the second one had come out, I think I watched it over like 2 or 3 weeks because I was just watching it like on my lunch break at work.
So good.
No.
Yeah, it's really good stuff.
Yeah, another show we talked about on the podcast, but I don't think we talked about the newest season, was The Boys, the newest season of that. That was really good. Probably my favourite season so far.
Yeah, I would say so.
Really great stuff.
How many has there been? 3?
Yeah. That was like, what's that? I got them all ranked, the seasons of this year. That's like top 4 for me. I really enjoyed that, and I really like Jensen Ackles as an addition to the show. He like comes along and he's like, just smokes a bunch of weed. He's really good. I really liked it.
Darcy's now in.
I love that guy. I love that guy.
Yeah, Darcy would love The Boys.
Like I said, I started watching it, and my mum did not take kindly to the fact that it was brutal and or sweary.
Yeah. He plays a bastard really well.
Yeah, he fucking does, doesn't he? Yeah. God, I love that man.
Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. That became a TV show.
What a great fucking show that was.
Incredible show. Yeah. So good.
I was a bit worried about it, actually, because I thought it's a couple of years behind its YouTube sell-by date. It's up, you know what I mean?
Those YouTube videos stopped coming out about 7 or 8 years ago.
So basically, I was worried that it was going to be like a product of its time.
Yeah, same. But as soon as we watched the first episode, I was like, yeah, this is great. This is really great stuff. It was worth the wait, I think. It definitely is. It's like just as creepy as the original YouTube shorts.
Actually, I think it's worse.
It is. It's fucked up at points.
It's like actual nightmare feel.
It's probably the show that made me laugh the most this year as well. There's some like really, really fantastic jokes in it. It's so great. The Obi-Wan show was pretty good. Pretty good that.
Quite good.
It was fine.
Yeah, the more I think about it, the less I like it.
Yeah,
because I loved it when it came out, but now I think about it, I'm like, the last couple episodes were great. Not so sure about the rest of it.
I felt like it was just a bit disappointing because it was the only one of those shows that I actually wanted to watch, and it was just
remember
like
all the cool parts.
I think that's what
Darth Vader's going through the town. He's like dragging those people across the floor, and they're like, "Yeah."
That was pretty sick too.
So cool.
There was a new season of Beavis and Butthead for Paramount Plus.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
I haven't actually finished it. There's 2 episodes I need to watch, but I really liked it. I thought I was really worried about them bringing it back because I just didn't really see the point in it, but I think they did a good job of it. Like after watching it, I was like, okay, I kind of get why it's back now.
I don't really know how I feel about it because I was watching some of it with Chris, and I just think if you really like juvenile humour, then it's probably
really
the greatest.
dumb.
I just think it's stupid.
I think the stuff I liked the most was they made a movie this year as well where they like kind of set up like this weird multiverse thing in it.
There's a multiverse thing going on this year, like it's just
with Beavis and Butthead from like the 90s coming to modern day, but then there's also a universe where they stayed in the 90s and now are old men, and in the show, like multiple episodes, they just go to like Beavis and Butthead as like old men and kind of show what it would be like for that, and that stuff I thought was probably
they
the
were
best
like
stuff.
50 or whatever.
Yeah.
You say old men, they weren't that old. They were like middle-aged.
Yeah.
At best.
It's good stuff though.
Questionable, but okay.
Me and Darcy watched that Kanye West documentary, Genius, as well.
Oh, yeah. It was
Fuck. Didn't you talk about that on the podcast?
Yeah, we did.
I felt like that was ages ago.
Yeah. The thing is, I didn't realise that was this year. Like, I was like, Chris, are you sure? And I had to look it up.
It was along with like the Batman.
It was from like January or something.
That was the Madagascar episode.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was a good
Do you know what?
series.
That was actually incredible.
It was like
but it's actually really sad in hindsight.
It is sad now watching it back. The first 2 episodes I thought were great. The third one I did not like.
Well, the third one, that's because the third one was just like, oh, you liked how he came up and he was this humble man and he got famous. Now look at him, he's a fucking crackhead. And it's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird because it's like you can't tell whether the director wants to paint him in like a positive light or not.
I think it was a bit of both.
It seemed like very conflicted. Where at points he's like, "Yeah, Kanye's still a genius. He's still incredible. He's better than ever." And then there's other points where they show him like working on music and talking, and he's just batshit insane and he's really unwell.
The thing is, I think
he's like saying about how he's really worried about him and stuff. It was really confusing.
No, I think it's supposed to be like impartial, isn't it? Where it's, I mean, you can, I don't know, you can, he's obviously good mates with him, so you can appreciate his work and be like, God, he's fucked up, I'm worried about him. Like, he's a smart guy, but he's going down the wrong path, and weren't he right, weren't he?
Another show we talked about was Moon Knight.
Moon Knight
was shite.
Love Moon Knight.
No, he didn't. Awesome. No, he fucking didn't.
Great.
There's bits of Moon Knight I really like, but so much of it is just not great.
I didn't like it at all.
I think it would have made a good movie.
Best Marvel thing this year.
It's just...
yeah.
Fuck off.
Chris's face just wrinkled.
I was just like trying to think. I was like thinking through what they've done and I think, maybe.
Yeah, maybe it is.
Maybe I prefer Doctor Strange a little bit, but still not the biggest fan of that.
I would have preferred that, but that's only because I thought Moon Knight was so shitola.
Moon Knight was not shitola.
Shitola.
It was awesome.
No.
It was Moon Knight.
Fuck off.
Now I've got the 2 most recent shows I watched, one of which was Wednesday, that Netflix series, the Wednesday Addams
thing.
That
everyone's raving about.
Some of it I think is really good. Most of it I think is really, really cheesy and...
I thought you were going to say cringe.
People love it.
It is very cringe. I think
it's a TikTok generation
it's
thing,
very
isn't
much
it?
aimed at something for like 15-year-old girls. I'm not the right audience for it.
Oh, what? I'm a quirky 15-year-old. Yeah,
older than that. Adam's Family was like originally a comic book series from like the 50s that became a 60s sitcom.
Yeah, but
so there we go.
And then
exactly.
became a movie in the 90s. Now
I'm thinking about the movies.
Doing it in.
Yeah.
I really like the Addams Family, like the original like TV show, and I like those 90s movies a lot. And whenever it was kind of like that, I was having a good time when they were going into like the Addams Family sort of shit. But a lot of it just kind of feels like Riverdale or something like that, like just a generic teen drama.
Yeah, it did come across that way, like in every TikTok that I saw of it, and I thought, I'm not going to be watching that, I don't think.
Yeah.
And so I didn't watch
just
it.
people dressing up as her and doing the dance.
Yeah, see, I sometimes I just think that they make this shit just do it.
The TikTok crowd, you gotta do a dance. You gotta speak their language.
I think that's all it comes down to. To make a successful show, you just have to make something that is catchy enough to go viral.
Yeah, put in a dance, pick a old song that people don't remember.
Yeah,
like they picked a Cramps song. I don't think it actually picked up on TikTok.
No, there's another song that plays. I keep telling you, because every time you say this, I go, that's not the song that's on TikTok, though.
It's a shame because like the Cramp song is really good, and I think it could have been like a good like TikTok song.
I don't know why they picked whatever song that they used on the TikTok version.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell you. I don't even know what it's called. Legit don't know.
Who knows?
I don't care.
But yeah, finally the show I watched most recently. I watched it. So Christmas Eve night, I couldn't sleep at all. I don't know why. I just couldn't get to sleep.
Excited for Father Christmas to come.
Yeah, maybe it was, or I was waiting for him to come, so I could kidnap him.
Wait, what?
But yeah, because I couldn't sleep, I was just like, I'm gonna watch something, and I watched the first episode of The Bear. Really liked it, and then just watched the entire show in one sitting.
Oh yeah.
And it's probably my favourite show that came out this year. It was so incredible.
What's it about?
It's about a guy who's like, his brother kills himself and
I'm in.
Like gives him his restaurant. Like this guy is like a world renowned chef, and his brother, like when he kills himself in his will, is like, I want you to have the restaurant and run it. So there's kind of like this big chef coming to this tiny restaurant that's completely falling apart and struggling to stay afloat, and he's just trying to pick it back up and fix it. It's really interesting, really, really funny show. Some of it is so unbearably stressful. Like there's an episode that's an entire like one shot. It's like 20 minutes long. It's like the shortest episode.
Boiling Point.
It is like basically exactly like Boiling Point. It's like him running around the restaurant trying to keep it going. They've had like loads of online orders coming in, and it's just pure stress for 20 minutes. But
absolutely
it's really great. Goes into really dark emotional points at like places at points, but I think it works so well. And then there's some of the best usage of like licensed music I've seen in a show all year.
Ooh.
What
Honestly,
do you mean by
it was
licensed music?
Like pre-existing music.
Stuff that they didn't write for
Oh, okay.
the show.
I just thought that was like a normal thing.
The music in this show, honestly, it feels like they just took one of my Spotify playlists. There's like so much like stuff I really love. Like,
see, but that's just bias, though, isn't it? That's like Chris going, "Yeah, they put the best music."
Yeah, like there's
my fucking
the first
music.
episode and the last episode has a really great usage of New Noise by Refused.
I actually fucking love that
comes
song
in a really great way. It's an episode that like starts with an LCD Sound System song. Another one starts with a Sufjan Stevens song. And the entire season ends with my favourite Radiohead song. So great music. But yeah, just all around really great show. So I highly recommend that. It's quite a short show. I think it's like 4 hours long in total.
Okay.
So it's quite easy to get through. All on Disney
That's not
Plus.
too bad.
But highly recommend it.
What we like to hear. Accessible stuff. A lot of stuff that was not accessible we couldn't watch. What are your shows, Darcy? Do you have any that you watched that kind of differed from Chris's that you could talk about?
Any that's different from Chris's? I start looking. Well, actually, I think I have about 3 or 4 here.
Yeah.
So the first one I watched, I didn't remember it came out this year. It felt like it was like 4 years ago because it came out right at the beginning. The Tourist with Jamie Dornan.
Tourist.
Yeah.
I watched a bit of an episode when I was around your parents' place.
Yeah, it felt like it was years ago, but I looked it up and apparently it was from this year, apparently. I actually quite liked it, to be honest, but I felt like it was a little bit, it was going somewhere and then it kind of lost me a little bit and then it kind of picked up towards the end. I don't know. See, the thing is, Chris managed to watch like one of the last episodes.
I pretty much watched the whole last episode and I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was I think on my laptop and I had my headphones in, but I was like kept looking up and I'd get like invested in what was going on.
Well, I don't know. Do you even know what it was about?
I have no clue.
Oh, right. So
I was just like, what the fuck is happening?
So basically,
right now?
Jamie Dornan's this guy who wakes up in Australia and has no idea how he got there, who he is, or who he's born. Who he was. He doesn't have a name. Like, he literally wakes up and he doesn't know who the fuck he is. No one else knows who he is because he's not from Australia, right? So this whole show is basically just him finding out why he's there, who he knows, and you find out more about.
Yeah,
kind of. Yeah, he finds out more about himself like the longer the show goes on for, and you like him in the beginning, and then like you kind of go, ooh, this is a little bit dark, and then it gets like a little bit darker, and then there's like this side plot with like this woman who's like his mate, but they're like, It's really stupid. Like, she's like this like Australian cop who's the one who finds him, and is like, oh, my fiance is like the greatest guy in the world, but then he turns out to be a piece of shit because he's really fucking abusive and annoying. He's like really annoying. And the show just ends on like this weird fucking like I want to call it a cliffhanger, but it's almost like season 2 bait. Like, you know that they're setting it up for a second season because they do this thing right at the end, and you're like, season 2
his
bait.
secret kung fu powers.
Yes.
That he didn't know he had.
Mate, it is unhinged. Like, yeah, I quite liked it because obviously I piggybacked watching off of The Fall because I really liked that show, as did
except for the last season,
as ordered all of us.
Well, I didn't watch the last season.
Oh yeah, okay, ignoring the last season, but I do piggyback off of that because I was like, Jamie's in this, okay, we'll watch it, and it was all right. I actually can't believe that came out this year. I'm actually in shock. One of the other shows I watched was Inventing Anna, which was another one of those like viral sensations on TikTok. Yeah, I watched it all.
Haven't heard of it.
I watched it all in one sitting, I believe. It was quite long, but quite short at the same time. Actually, no, I didn't watch it in one day. What?
Invent Anna?
I don't know. Do either of you know what this is about?
I can't remember. I remember I was going to watch it, but I don't remember why.
See, it happened a while ago, and I didn't write anything down about it. But roughly, it is about this woman who was a massive con artist, but she was famous in the back in whenever she got found out for doing all of our like tax evasions and fraud and laundering money and all that kind of stuff.
The cool crimes.
Yeah, because she pretended to be royalty basically, and then started getting in with all these like famous people, and then like slowly as the show goes on, people start to figure out like that she can't afford to pay for things because she's actually like stealing other people's like credit cards and like using them to pay for stuff and all this kind of things. And basically, apparently, how she mostly got famous was because she was like kicking up a fuss about wearing like designer clothing and stuff to her trials. So then everyone was like making Instagrams and like shit about following her in her like trials because it was televised and stuff. Oh, it was insane. It was played by oh my god, she was in Ozark. Oh my god, what is her name? I need to find it now.
So you can do whatever you want as long as it gets televised. You're basically in the clear.
That's true.
What was
her
name?
Like, you can do some pretty horrible stuff, but as long as it appeals to the TikTok generation, you're all right, really. Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh yeah, that show came out and everyone loves it.
Because they'd make a Netflix show about him and everyone on TikTok would be like, oh, he's great.
It's funny that you mentioned that because that literally happened. They made that Jeffrey Dahmer show with
that's why I mentioned
Evan, what's her name? Yeah.
It is funny that I mentioned that, yeah.
But she's played by Julia Garner, who was in Ozark. She plays Ruth.
Yeah.
And
she's good in that
she's
show.
A fucking great actress. And she was really good in this as well. So the show was at least worth watching. If you're only watching it for her and her alone, it can get a little bit annoying because I feel like there's some words to be said about, like, I know obviously because she's not actually who she claims to be, her accent is like all over the gaff, like all the time, and it can take you a little bit out of it, but I think that was like part of it. The other one, I'm not even going to rant on about this too much, but I watched season 3 of Love is Blind. One of the worst shows I've ever watched, right? But I can't stop watching it. I watched season 2 last year.
Where they put blindfolds on you.
Oh, so Love is Blind, right? They get you in these pods.
Yeah, that sounds about what I was thinking.
And you can't see anyone.
Yeah.
And you go on like blind dates for, I don't know, like a set amount of time. I think they're normally in there for about 2 weeks or so. And the only way you can leave with your partner, sort of, but obviously you never get to actually see anyone. You see nothing of them. You only get to listen to them, and you have to talk to them like through this like wall, basically. And how you leave is you propose to them, and then you have to get married. But you get right. So they propose to you in this like pod, and then if you get along on quite well, you'll say yeah, and then you live together for 2 weeks to a month. I can't remember how long it is, and then they get married, but they can opt to not get married. No. So they leave these pods, but the only way you can leave these pods is by proposing to someone and then you meet them for the first time and then
Or
you
if you
live
don't want
with
to get
them.
married, they just leave you in the pod.
I think they just leave without getting what's the word, like
Fed.
They just starve to death.
All right, you didn't want to get married.
they just
leave
stop,
them in the pod.
they just stop following your part of the adventure. But
Oh, okay.
the reason why I put this on the list is because of how so this could sound really stupid, but I watched season 2 this year, I believe, because I was a bit late to it. And that was some binge watching fucking TV, mate. I watched it from like start to finish. Chris come home at one point and I was watching the reunion shows.
Yeah,
They
I
had a
watched
couple of follow-up episodes.
What?
And then I watched season 3. I watched about 3 or 4 episodes when Chris went out to the pub one night and I went, okay, I'm going to watch this. And it was absolute dog shit. There's like this really infamous like incident that happened where one of the contestants of the show was like, everyone thinks he's some sort of like sociopath or something because he doesn't show emotions. And then there's this bit where he's like putting eye drops in his eyeballs and then going, are we rolling? And then he's pretending to cry because he's put eye drops into his eyes. It's so stupid. Anyway.
Sounds like your kind of show.
Oh, it really is.
Yeah.
But no, not this season. This season sucked, so I stopped watching it quite quickly.
I found what I watched of it very annoying.
Yeah, it was. Oh, especially when there was season that you watched had that Shane guy in it, and he was Labrador ADHD dog material. He was insane. Anyway, and then the last one was Ozark. That finished this year, and it was
pretty good.
I know I've already talked about this before, but I would easily say, until I watch something else that's better, best TV show ever,
Nice.
hands down.
I've watched 5 episodes, first season so far.
It is incredible.
I'm enjoying it a lot. It's good.
So good. It took a while for me to get into it, really, though. Like, I only kept watching it because I was like, okay, Jason Bateman's in this. It's going to get better the longer I watch it. What happened? Towards the end of the first season, I was like, fuck, this show's amazing. But I did that with Game of Thrones as well. It takes a while for me to actually really get into a TV show, but I think that's more to do with the fact that if it doesn't get me right away, I get really bored, and then I'm just like,
Ozark has a lot of good songs as well.
Oh,
Really
Ozark
good
plays some
soundtrack.
good shit, man. There's a lot of Radiohead that plays in Ozark, actually. Like a lot, like almost an insane amount. Like almost every season has at least one or two of them.
Jason Bateman's favourite band, I think.
Oh, he's such a loser, isn't he?
Yeah.
I love you, Jason. You're a fucking loser.
Everyone whose favourite band is Radiohead
He's a loser.
Another show I forgot to bring up, we haven't finished it yet, but we're on the most recent season of Barry at the moment.
Don't. I am so
Barry.
excited. I am so excited.
We've
this show's been
obviously finished the
incredible.
second season. Now the third season came out this year. We're about halfway through,
Yeah.
I think. And
Yeah.
fucking hell, this season's dark.
It's so
It's
good.
so bleak.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh no.
It's still like
It's been like
funny,
it's so
but
good. It's like
it is so dark now.
I don't think it's funny anymore though.
It's got funny moments.
Yeah, like it's gotten to the point where it started as like a straight up comedy, and now it's like not funny
but
at all.
season
Basically,
2 it was like quite funny.
It's become
and
a
then
drama
it's like
now.
started to get quite serious towards the end, and now this season it's just so dark and depressing.
like I think only at the end of season 2 and the beginning of season 3, I've actually kind of done that thing where, you know, when you actually like kind of look up from what you're doing, and I'm doing this, I'm like a fucking like meerkat, like going, oh my god, what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
But yeah,
great show so far. Really looking forward to finishing it.
We wanted to finish it before we came here, but we
Yeah, I'll carry it on eventually. I just stopped my Now TV subscription, so I cancelled that.
we totally didn't watch it by bad means whatsoever.
Yeah, I'll pirate it eventually. Because I don't fancy paying £25 a month for Now TV anymore. I just can't.
25
I
in
can't
that,
do
and they
it.
still have ads on them as well, don't they?
Yeah.
It's pretty rough going.
That is absolutely
I've currently got the
shambolic.
cinema one because they did like a Black Friday deal where it was like £1 a month for 3 months.
Yeah.
So I got
That's
that.
a pretty decent deal.
It
to be fair.
expires. It just came out a couple of days ago, so it expires in a month. So now I'll cancel it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just pirate things from now on. I can't be bothered with it.
This is where we start the whole big streaming debate again, where we're like,
Yeah.
oh god, streaming, what a nightmare all that shit is.
It is shit.
Yeah.
So here are some shows that I watched. The worst of the worst was Doctor Who. Those 2 episodes that they put out this year were trash.
Were they
Hated
the
them.
Christmas ones or were they something else? I can't remember.
They didn't do a Christmas one. It
What
was
was
like
the
Legend
special?
of Just Sea Devils.
Special.
Oh, it's
where
just a
they go on
special.
a ship. I think that's all that happened.
Yeah.
And the other one I talked about on the podcast, I forget what that was about.
Why did I think that was a Christmas special? Oh, it's probably. Why was it a
Yeah.
special in the first place? That's probably
And then
why. I was
she
about
evolved
it.
like a Pokemon. And just some bullshit that I watched 4 episodes of that Marvel show, Ms. Marvel. That sucked.
Oh yeah,
It
I
was
watched
boring.
one episode of that also, and it was.
Really boring, really
It was-
dull.
I didn't bother.
Stopped
You
watching
watched an episode of She-Hulk, didn't you?
Oh, that's what I watched. Yeah, She-Hulk. That was.
Trash.
I was talking about it with Connor in his car the second
Yeah.
I watched it, and me and him went on like this massive rant about how everything has to be about like the I don't know, the feminist hero
There
or
was
whatever.
a,
It was boring as shit.
There was an episode of the Jar Media podcast not that long ago where Alex was like breaking down the last episode of it.
Sounds like bullshit. Yeah, I
And
listened
it
to that.
sounded
What of
like
She-Hulk or Miss
The
Marvel?
She-Hulk, and
Oh.
it sounded like a actual joke. Like it sounded like he
Yeah.
was just making up a meme. And I had looked into it, and it was like actually what happened. And I kind of want to watch that last episode because it sounds.
I
like,
might look it up,
It
just
sounds
to save me
insane.
from.
It sounds awful, but
Yeah.
But was
it sounds
it,
ridiculous.
isn't what you watched sort of like because apparently my uncle watched it, and it was very like high schoolers, like
Your uncle watched She-Hulk?
teeny wee, but no,
Marvel.
Miss
Oh,
Marvel.
Ms. Marvel. We're talking about
Yeah.
Ms. Marvel now.
He said it was like very teeny bopper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
I don't think it was for you, Max. To be fair.
No, none of it is anymore, really.
Don't think it's for anyone.
Another
Teeny
show
boppers.
I started today but couldn't finish because I didn't have the time.
Oh,
Was
yeah.
the new season of What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh my god, where's that?
I think I got
It's on Disney Plus now.
Shut
8
the
episodes into that
fuck
today.
up.
I got 8 episodes in. It's really good. It's still really good. They're still doing a
Yeah?
good job. The only thing I will say is that like I don't know why they needed to end the 3rd season in the way they did because it didn't really matter.
Oh, really?
But I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, me and
That's a
Darcy
shame.
will watch that when we finish Barry.
I didn't realise it was.
Yeah, I found out a few days ago it's been added to Disney Plus.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
It's
quite
been
a
on
shame,
there for
actually.
a couple
To be
months
fair.
as well.
Oh, really? That makes it worse somehow.
It's because they didn't say it was on there. They didn't make a big deal
No,
about it
yeah.
coming out.
Didn't
But
see
you can
any
make a big
adverts.
deal
Didn't see
about The
nothing.
Simpsons, can't you?
Didn't see nothing.
Mm.
Lame. Only like stumbled upon it by chance actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just today I was like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was out. Yeah.
I was like, oh, I need to watch that season. Is it
way.
on Disney Plus yet? And I checked
Mhm.
and it was.
Yeah.
And I looked it up and it had been since like mid-November or something.
No way.
It's really good. There's like an episode in it where like they parody like a Homes Under the Hammer type deal.
Oh, yeah.
It's really funny. Yeah. It's really good.
That sounds good.
So now we're going from the shows that I've finished
Okay.
from the bottom to the top. The Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, didn't bother. No interest.
I forgot that you watched that, actually.
Why did I watch this? I don't even fucking remember it. It's so boring. Like nothing happens.
I think I'll watch like a recap thing before The Mandalorian comes out, just in case
Yeah.
there's any like important information I've mixed.
Right, see,
The
the way...
Mandalorian is in it as well.
Yeah. See,
the way
There's like
Max
one
is laughing
episode
at-
that's like really good, but it's basically an episode of The Mandalorian.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Oh, maybe that makes sense then.
I've heard Andor's really good. I'm going to start that at some point.
Yeah, I can't be bothered. Next one, Moon Knight season 1. We talked about it.
Boo.
Great. I love Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, so do I, but I don't love this.
I like a lot of the ideas they went with in
Yeah.
that, but ultimately, whatever. Love, Death and Robots season 3. That was good. Obi-Wan Kenobi we talked about. That was good, but went down in my estimations. The Umbrella Academy season 3 that came out. Superhero stuff.
You
Pretty
spoke
good.
about that, I think, as well.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty good. Pretty good.
I've read like the first graphic novel and that's about it.
Yeah. The Toast of London spin-off came out
Oh,
this
yeah.
year.
I forgot about that.
Toast of Tinseltown with Matt Berry.
Yeah, we need to watch that.
Yeah.
It's really good. It is good.
Is it a whole
doesn't-
season?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't quite reach like the huge highs of Toast of London
Yeah,
in my
obviously
opinion.
that's a hard one to top. That
It
was
is
a great
hard
show.
one to top, but I
Hilarious.
think he does a good job with it, and it's like a completely new environment. It's difficult to
Yeah.
get used to, but like a lot of like really good cameos and stuff. Like Bill Hader is in it, and like
Oh,
Paul
nice.
Rudd.
Ooh,
Paul Rudd is in there,
Rudd.
and Benedict Wong, and Rashida Jones, and all these great stars of the
Nice.
circuit. I think those like what do you call them that they did their show on? All those like American guys. They started on like not CBS.
Oh, what? Saturday Night Live?
Saturday Night Live, yeah, SNL.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just like a lot of those guys. But yeah, it's a good one, and I really like Matt Berry for that. What else? The Sandman. Neil Gaiman's The Sandman came out on
I need
Netflix.
to watch that.
It's fucking good. It's so good. It's like high fantasy. It's fucking well, not high fantasy. It's like this guy, the Sandman, that's locked up, and he's got to help people with dreams or whatever, so they don't like just stop dreaming or like can't wake up or whatever, and they lock him in a fucking dungeon for 100 years, and then people just go to they take the big sleep and they can't wake up for 100 years. It's fucked up. And he's like, he gets out of it and he's like, I got to repair the world or whatever. It's really good. It's like really good stuff going on there. Like quite cheesy, but I think I felt like it should have all fed into a larger narrative, but it is not really that. It's just like, here's an episode where he goes and does this thing and tries to fix this. So it is good for that. I think I really like Neil Gaiman.
Yeah, he's such a great author.
Like Good Omens is really good as well.
Coraline, of course.
Stranger Things season 4, that was good, really good stuff. Ghosts season 4 that came out this year.
Did you watch the Christmas special?
I did. I watched the whole season in one day.
The Christmas special was amazing. I actually nearly cried. I was like sitting in my living room going, if you cry right now, no one in this family is ever going to forgive you.
Yeah.
I watched a minute of it when my mum was watching it. She likes that show.
Oh, it's good.
Oh, it was. Yeah,
I love all those guys. Those
I
horrible
love them
histories
so
people.
much.
They do a good job every year. It's always good.
It is always good.
Very wholesome stuff.
Yeah,
I watched that.
I agree.
On like the 27th or the 28th. You know, whole thing. And that was one of the days where I just didn't do anything. I just monged out and watched Ghosts.
Nice.
So good, so funny.
Yeah, I think I watched
very wholesome.
this. I can't remember.
It's always wholesome.
He's great though.
Yeah. Fuck it. I'll reel off some of the other ones that I watched before I get into ones that I kind of like quite want to talk about. Frozen Planets 2, that came out. David Attenborough stuff, always good. Beautiful cinematography. Feel like he's at this point. I feel like he should run out of things to say, but I don't know if he actually has.
How can you? There's so much
he
stuff.
Like kind of brings up something new each time. I'm like, wow, actually, yeah. But they do get more bleak as they go along.
Well, yeah, of course.
Like, as the world turns to complete shit.
Yeah, it's probably
every
like
year. It's like, I've got to make a new one. Tell people how shit the world is.
Yeah, it's probably like, have you seen this penguin? That penguin is now extinct.
Something I like didn't really like about the show was like my only gripe was that they kept cutting back to David Attenborough like sat in this huge room, this studio with like a massive screen, and he's just like watching the documentary that we're watching, and he's like watching the animals, and he's like laughing and being like, "Ha, look at that animal," and then he like talks about how we're fucking ruining the environment. But I'm like, you're watching this on like a massive screen that you didn't need to do, like, and all these massive lights, and then like how much energy are you using just to do this one cutaway that keeps happening throughout the season?
Feel like a meme?
It's
like you're
really
just making
weird.
that up. Like we're gonna watch it and it's just gonna be like, haha.
Yeah, the money they spent on like setting that up and filming it, they could have just put into the environment.
Yeah, they could have, but they had to show us what we were doing wrong. So thank you, David, for that.
Very ironic, but okay.
The Boys season 3 we talked about. Very good show. House of the Dragon season 1, very good. Talked about that. Bee and Puppy Cat was one that I watched on Netflix.
I need to watch that.
This is a really fucking good animated show.
Yeah, I need to watch it.
She just goes, she's got like this little...
Did you watch the YouTube ones?
No.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
No, I only watched what was on Netflix, but she like finds this little puppy cat thing. She's like, you're going to be my friend, and like talks a bunch of gibberish, and like they go on like weird adventures where like she has to make money to pay rent, so that they go to space where like a big screen says, here's your next task, and they got to do some like really just weird shit on like different planets and like fix tasks, like do tasks for different aliens and all that, and it's really weird and really fun and very just a very light show that I think is really well worth the watch if you're like sick of shows that like just are really bleak and whatever, and you have to follow a set narrative. It's just like it's just a lot of fun, and the animation is like fantastic. What else do I talk about?
Yeah, what else?
I watched His Dark Material season 3 in one day. They ended the show, and then I was like, oh shit, I remember I was reading Northern Lights by Philip Pullman, which is the show is based off that His Dark Materials trilogy. So I finished basically just over half of that book in about 2-3 days. I was like, I've never read that much in that amount of time, but it's like I have to finish it. I have to read this book and then the next one and then the next one, and then I got to do the prequel book and then the sequel book because it's so good. I think they really fucking got it right. They did like the Golden Compass in the 2000s, and that was based on Northern Lights.
That movie sucks.
That is one of the worst pieces of shit I think I've ever seen. It is genuinely dreadful.
Yeah, like I went to see it because my sister and my mum love Northern Lights, like the book. And yeah, the film fucking sucks.
What they fucked with that is that they wanted to tell a grander story in a really small amount of time.
Yeah, that's
But with
fair.
the show, you could just do that one book over one season, and it's paced really well. And season 3, it brings it all to a head. And they're juggling these weird fucking things with like parallel dimensions that were set up in the first book, and like angels and like demons and shit like that. And it's like I did not realize that it went into all these kinds of things, and it felt like it could be bogged down by like the whole trend of like multiverse shit that they're doing these days. But they do take it in a pretty decent direction. You understand where they're going with it, and all the acting is really good. Daphne Keane is really good in the show. I'm glad to see that she's like getting something, you know. I think like this is just the start for her. She's a really good actor. She was in Logan, of course, playing the little girl in that. And for a BBC show, it's really good, like budget-wise. Like the effects are like actually decent, and like the narrative is like well thought out, and the people who are making this show actually know what they're doing. And it's really like it ends and it's like really emotional. I got like so like upset like at the end, and then it finished. I was like, because I've watched 8 episodes in a row, it was like that whole time I was just in that world, and then it stopped, and it doesn't end on like a happy note either. So I was like, it's kind of like a hurrah, but it was like, fuck, Jesus, like this isn't like nice. I don't think it was nice at all. It was like struggling with like doomed love. I'm like something
right.
It's something about it was like horribly upsetting to me, but like weirdly like very romantic as well. I was like, wow, this is like I didn't expect this show to go in this direction quite in the way it did.
Oh, okay.
And also juggle like the themes of like innocence and like growing up and like childhood and that. But I think having read the first book, I think Philip Pullman does go into a lot of detail where that's concerned, and like it's just like a really, I think like it's a show for people of any age, really. You can like I don't know if those books are like for like adults so much as they're for like adolescents or like young people.
Yeah.
And like you grow up, because it's about like innocence and all that and growing up, and they do juggle with a lot of themes of like what is it to grow up, and like how do you navigate the world when like you're supposed to have it all figured out when you're an adult, but like nobody really has it figured out, and they do like tackle these very human themes in a really weird and abstract, very fantastical way. And yeah, I can't recommend the show enough. It's amazing, especially when I contrast it to the Golden Compass. It just sucks so badly. It just shows you can do these things right if you actually take the time to understand the material.
It's just so weird because my mum was talking about that show not that long ago, because she was like, I really liked it.
Yeah.
And then I had forgotten about the Golden Compass until one of you guys brought it up, and I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, I was trying to forget about it. I'm pretty sure I've seen part of that show before, though. Like, I don't know, does one of the girls have like a little monkey creature or some shit? I just realised Max is gone, so he's not going to be able to answer me for a couple of seconds. Can you at least give me a nod or something? They have little tiny creatures, don't they? Can I get a nod? Can I get an abstract thought or feature there?
The little tiny creatures,
like the
they
little
have them.
soul creatures,
The soul demons, they all carry like the little animal, which is already like a really fun concept. Like,
I do love
your
that. It's
soul
actually quite
is like
fun,
an animal,
yeah.
and it's not like reduced to like this is your pet that you have. It's like this is part of you. This is your soul, and they can only go like so far away from you before it starts to like hurt. And they really like go in with that with like this idea of like your soul being a physical thing that you can touch, and like there's like parts where, I mean, in the first book they're like literally being split apart from their demons, and it's like horrendous. It's like horrible, and they really go into detail with like exactly what that would feel like to have your soul torn from you. And like in the third season of his Dark Materials, it's like there is a point where like the protagonist has to like kind of leave her demon at a certain point, and it's like horrible. It is horrible to watch. But yeah, it really, like, it's basically like whatever kind of fantasy element you could go into, they kind of go into, bar like, I don't know, orcs and shit like that.
Yeah.
It's really juggling a lot, and just really, they really pulled it off. It's like in a third season, if you're finishing a show, you can fuck it up. Like there is so much precedent for that, but they pulled it off massively. It's just really good all the way through.
It's what we like to hear.
It's what we like to hear. Yeah, I'm gonna race through those books and then like hopefully do the prequel book and all that. I don't think he's finished the trilogy he's on now. That's like a carry on from those, but nice. I'll be interested to see that, to read that. One of the shows I watched was from the makers of Dark. They came out with a show called 1899, which I talked about a bit to you guys. It's a really good show. It's like they're on a ship. These people are on a ship, and it's just like weird stuff happening. And like, I thought it would be like the Bermuda Triangle type thing from like the posters, where like the ship is kind of going around in like this triangle. But it's like, it's just weird. Like it's like teleporting the ship to different places or whatever, and like programming people to do things, and like some like really dark shit that happens in this movie. No, in this show even. And I really enjoyed the fact that like, because Dark was all German. 1899 is like a bunch of languages, and the stress and like the themes that it's trying to communicate do come down to like communication, how we communicate with each other, because everybody's like on the ship trying to get away from something in their past. They're trying to run away from, go to New York, and the ship's trying to take them there, but the ship like it diverts and it needs to like save this other ship or whatever, and like just some fuck shit happens, and like everybody's trying to communicate with each other, and like only some people can speak English, and like you got to go through like a translator for English or like Dutch and German and Italian and Spanish and just all these different languages. And it's so interesting to see how they navigate that, where this basically what they're going through is like horrible and like disastrous at times, and like people die, and like there's one scene that like sticks in my mind so much, but I don't really want to spoil it. I don't know if you guys will watch it. You never watch anything I suggest.
I think we'll get to it eventually.
I don't know. Okay. I mean, it doesn't really matter either way. It's just Max is making it sound really interesting, because I saw so I'm one of those people that, you know, like I see like random like articles, whatever, and I'll click on the comments just because I like a little bit of a drama read or whatever. And people saying that people either loved this because they thought it was like the best thing since sliced bread, or they thought it was the most boring shit ever, and it was like the worst TV show ever made.
Yeah, that's the kind of shit
it sounds really interesting though.
I really like stuff where it just completely splits people down the middle. Like I watched the film The Souvenir today, which Max doesn't like at all.
I don't like it.
I really loved it. Yeah, but it's like it's so divisive.
Yeah. I watched like 15 minutes of it, and I mean, I don't really have an opinion of it either way, but I could see why Max probably wouldn't like it, because I have a feeling if I watched the whole thing, I probably wouldn't have loved it either.
It's also like got a really good intro credits as well, which I feel like not a lot of shows do, where like they cut away and it's like, here's the intro credits, and doing all these like weird different like graphic stuff, and it's got the like the slowed down Jefferson Airplane song, White Rabbit, playing.
Nice.
Such a good song, and like it kind of speaks to like the themes of the movie, where like you don't really, it's sort of maybe it's all in their heads, but maybe it's actually happening, and who's sort of pulling the strings, who's making people do these things. So there's like some elements of like, I don't know if you could call it mind control or whatever, or like it's like who's behind it all really, and they kind of got to figure it out. And they carry on. I think they bring in one of the actors from Dark. I think that's kind of all they needed, because if they brought in like all of those actors again, it would have been like, well,
it's just Dark
maybe
again.
It's just like the same thing. It's just Dark, but it's like it's like American Horror Story or something. But his name, I really like him. He is called Andreas Pietschmann, and he's
Great
like a
name.
really, really good actor. You could watch him in Dark as well. He's doing a good job. I don't know what else I can really say about the show without giving it away so much. I really like what they do with the music, where it it's coming for like this kind of glitchy type of style to it, where like it's quite subtle actually, and like you only notice it if like you kind of tune in and you're like, well, most of the time it's just kind of creating an atmosphere, but then notes will play and then they will also reverse those notes backwards, but like very subtly, and you'll be like, oh, what the fuck was that? And like, it's just really cool stuff that they're doing, and like just technically it's kind of a masterpiece. I really enjoy it. Watch that show. Watch 1899. Do it. It's so good. The best show I thought this year was probably season 3 of Derry Girls. I'm not sure if you guys have seen Derry Girls.
I have seen Derry Girls.
Did you watch the recent one?
I've seen odd episodes and bits because basically
I've seen a couple episodes.
Yeah, my mum's a massive fan. So every now and again, like when I'd been home during the year or whatever, like it, it like been on or whatever, and then like my mum would be like, "Oh, let's watch the recap or whatever," and I like vaguely know what goes on, but I haven't watched it like in a cohesive order,
Oh,
so I
She doesn't
don't
like the ending though.
Well, my mum.
Yeah, she said already she thought the ending's shit.
Well, she said the same thing about Ozark, and she's wrong. So I don't know. Was the ending?
No,
shit?
I like the ending a lot.
I don't remember.
I just like how
I don't remember.
the writing is so good. I mean, the actors are so good. It's so funny as well. It's like loaded with humor. Weirdly, when it kind of almost shouldn't be.
Yeah.
But it's taking the setting of like the Troubles and like putting it against like a backdrop of through the lens of like these teenage girls who are going through school and like trying to do GCSEs or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're all great. They're such good actors. It is hilarious, and just like the comedic timing is amazing. And when they do blend it in with the more like dour moments of the show, and they don't go so much into like how horrible it is, or how horrible it would be, because they're not like in that war really. They're just like trying to do school and that.
Oh right, yeah.
It's quite casual watching in terms of that. It's not like hour-long episodes or whatever. It's like half an hour a pop, and just like, really solid throughout. Honestly, couldn't recommend it enough. And they ended it. It's the end, and I'm just interested to see what the makers of that show does next. What the actors go on to do. Just like probably the best, but one of the best shows that through and through, one of the best shows that 4 put out, I think.
Nice.
I like that lady that's in that show. The head lady of the school or whatever.
Yeah, she's great.
I'm pretty sure she's the one who's on the Great Pottery Throwdown. I love her.
Yeah.
She's great.
Awesome. Cool. That's that. I'm fucking worn out. Should we stop? So now we get on to the movies. We're not doing any bottom movies because it's mean and we're not mean. Well, I'm not doing it because all of my bottom movies are ones that we talked about on the podcast. So I don't fancy really talking about them again. So I guess we'll do like honorable mentions and then get on to like a top 10 if everyone's okay with that.
Yeah.
After we've finished our cocktail sausages.
I definitely don't have a top 10. But you guys are literally going to bring up the same friggin' movies probably. Right.
Yeah, that's the thing really, isn't it?
So I feel like I'm not going to have much to bounce here.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that because I'm not one for talking too much about movies that I don't understand.
Yeah. Want to do some honourable mentions then, Chris?
Yeah, sure. I'll just run off some movies that I think are worth checking out, some like lesser known movies or ones we've not talked about on the podcast before. Red Rocket was one I really liked, the new Sean Baker movie.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I got that on Blu-ray for Christmas. I'm looking forward to rewatching it.
Very nice.
Probably my favourite movie he's done so far.
It was
really
fun.
good one. The Northman, the new Robert Eggers movie.
Yeah, that was great.
That was really great. I don't think it got much attention. Didn't seem to be a big...
Nope.
I heard
big
it did
success.
a lot better when it was released on VOD.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's one of those kind of movies.
I don't think he'll make a movie like that again, though.
No, I think that's the last time he makes a movie like with that kind of budget. But I'm glad
Was
he
that
did
the
it.
first time you made one?
Yeah, but it's good. It's one of his best movies, although he's only done 3.
Yeah,
but
it's one of the top 3 movies
yeah,
that
it
he's
is
done.
one of the top 3. To
What,
be
like
fair,
The Witch? Did you do The Witch?
Yeah, that's my
See, that
favourite.
was fucking sick.
And The Lighthouse.
Yeah, it's also in the top 3.
I'm sure Max will talk about this movie because I'm pretty sure he loved it. It's The Banshees of Inisherin, the new Martin McDonagh movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really great stuff.
It's good stuff, man.
I really liked the film Boiling Point. With Stephen Graham in it. It's like a 90-minute one-shot movie all
That's
set
not
in
from
a
this year,
restaurant.
though, is it?
Came out this year in the UK.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought I heard about it before. That's why.
But yeah, that was good. Paris 13th District, the Jacques Audiard
Oh,
movie.
hell yeah. I forgot about that movie
I
already.
got that on
We
Blu-ray.
spoke about that already
That
on the
movie's
podcast. One I watched
I'm biased,
today
though.
was the new Steven Soderbergh movie, Kimmy.
Mhm.
That was a really interesting, like, little thriller. Very, very self-contained, small sort of story. It does feel like, because I think it went straight to HBO Max in the US and Now TV here. It does kind of feel like a movie made for like watching at home,
Yeah.
but not to the point where it ever feels like cheap or anything. It does feel very well made. And the final act is so much fun. It's like a really great usage of Sabotage by Beastie Boys in like this like
Really?
small action sequence.
Nice.
It's really, really fun stuff. But yeah, really interesting movie. I liked that film X a lot, the Ty West movie that you guys weren't really into.
Did we ever talk about X? I don't think
Not
we did. We
really.
just like watched that. Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah,
I wasn't
no.
wild on that.
No, neither
But it
was
is
I,
like one of those like slasher movies. I think that kind of I'm not too into. That's probably why I didn't like it all that
Maybe
much.
not, but
I would
thought it
like to
was
see his
really
new
good.
one, Pearl, which was like
Yeah.
the
yeah, apparently that was good,
prequel to
wasn't it?
that.
Yeah, apparently I've had a lot of people say that is better. It comes out in March here.
Okay.
So yeah, really
Ooh.
looking forward to that.
Cool.
Vortex, the new Gaspar Noé movie, was pretty interesting. It's probably one of my least favourites he's done.
Yeah.
It kind of just reminded me of like far too much of Mikhail Haneke's Amour and The Father. It just reminded me way too much of that.
Yeah.
But it was still a really well made, pretty emotional movie.
I got that on Blu-ray. I'll check it out eventually.
Yeah, it's a good one. And like a really big movie that I'm the only one who's seen so far that I was surprised at how much I liked was the new Avatar. Avatar: The Way of Water
You
came
did see
out
that.
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
A huge success. It's like already grossed over $1 billion.
What was it like? Like, what about it was like great?
Didn't you say it was like the first one but done better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is basically the exact same movie as the first one,
Which makes it sound
a lot of it's underwater.
Busted said it first, it's true.
I appreciate what he was going for with that original movie. It looks amazing, but the story is dull as shit.
Yeah, the story in this one isn't really any better. It's still pretty bad. I just found the universe so much more interesting in this one. I thought the world building was really fascinating. I actually cared about the characters in this one, which I didn't before. There's a lot of great, because a lot of it's like about Jake Sully and whatever the girl's name was, Natiri, I think it is.
Yeah,
Wow.
Natiri. Sounds about right.
Yeah, it's like about their kids who are now like teenagers. Like pretty much all of it's about them, and I think they develop them really well. And it gets pretty emotional at points, which I wasn't expecting. But in terms of like just like a huge like just the scope of it, I think is a massive spectacle movie still. I don't think I would have liked it at all if I watched it at home, but just watching on the big screen, it was so much fun. The action was great. Visually, it's just gorgeous. But yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I just really have no interest in it.
No.
Maybe I'll flick through it when it goes to Disney Plus.
Like my uncle went to see it today, and God, I just can't bring myself to message him and be like, "How was it?" Because I know that I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like, can I convince myself to go and see it? Probably not.
But yeah, in terms of movies we've not spoken about on the podcast, I think that's all I have for honourable mentions.
I think this is the problem with doing the movie.
Stuff like,
because we just speak about the movies anyway. So
there's stuff like the Batman or the new Jackass movie.
We've
or,
already spoken about them all.
The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Like
So
all
good.
movies I really enjoyed. But
we
we've
didn't talk
spoken
about
them.
4.5.
Yeah, but that wasn't that great. But
I mean, yeah, but that's why it's a 0.5, isn't it?
yeah, I actually watched Jackass Forever again a couple of days ago while heavily intoxicated, and it made it a lot better.
Nice.
Had a great
To be
time.
fair, those films are. What I like about them is that they are pretty much just stupid movies that make you forget about life for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, they are like pure escapists.
They are
just,
really,
it's
they
just
really are.
stupid. It's nothing to take seriously. It's just complete
Yeah, I
nonsense.
was trying to explain this to my mum the other day when I was saying that you were watching it, and I was like, because she was like, "Oh, it's a bit juvenile," and I was like,
It is very
actually,
juvenile.
though,
But,
I didn't mind it.
I thought that was the point.
yeah, it is
Yeah,
the point. I did actually.
course, yeah.
Something I really like about the newest one is it massively dials down on the gross out stuff, whereas that was something that they go heavy with in the other three movies that at points can get quite tiresome.
Yeah, this one was just heavy on the owies.
Like, I don't know how many times you can see someone like throw up like in a movie. It gets quite just exhausting.
It's
I bet.
exhausting.
I bet it does.
Whereas in this one, there's like a final sequence where they all chug a gallon of milk while being spun around on like a merry-go-round
Oh, that was
thing. And that's
awful.
about it.
You just unlocked a memory. Yeah, that was awful.
Nice.
But I expect nothing less.
I'll go through some honourable mentions then. As much as I didn't really gel with it, I think if I were to watch Wendell and Wild again, the new Henry Selick one, I'd probably like it.
Mhm.
But I don't know if I was just like not in the headspace for it. The animation is like almost too good.
Wasn't it
It's
weird
almost
looking?
too clean. It's a really lovely looking movie, and that's where it excels the most. But I just didn't care much for whatever was going on in the story.
That's
I
fair.
apologize. I really wanted to love it. I wanted it to be like, this is the best thing in the world. So when I like actually not even like thought it was meh, but I actually thought it was like not even that good, I was really disappointed. It was like the biggest disappointment of the year for me.
Yeah.
I'm really
I've
upset
heard
about that.
very mixed things. So it's on my watch list of like films to catch up on. So I'm going in with like quite, I don't know, I'm not really going in
Trepidatious,
expecting
yeah.
anything.
We'll see.
That's fair.
We'll see what I think of it on another go round, because I will watch it
Yeah,
again.
maybe you just need to watch it again.
God. What else do I think?
Brilliant.
Don't Worry, Darling was a bit of bullshit, but it was funny as hell.
Honestly, the Harry
This
Styles
film's
film. Yeah.
what was the M. Night movie we watched last year?
Oh, old.
Old. Was it this year's Old?
In a way,
Yeah, but I actually think it was almost.
I would sooner watch Don't Worry, Darling again.
Yeah.
Where Old
Actually,
was
no, I
like
think I'd rather watch Old because Old
funny
was
because
just
it was like
hilarious.
shit. This was funny because it was like even kind of well made on a technical level, but it was like complete bullshit. Like what was happening in the story.
Yeah,
Like, what is going on? And Florence Pugh held it up, so I would sooner see see it for her just to watch her.
she was really good in it, which is so weird because it goes on that it goes up like that tangent where it's like this is the plot twist, and you're like, oh.
Speaking
Okay.
of Florence Pugh,
Yeah.
I'll do an honourable mention for the movie that came out on Netflix called The Wonder.
Yeah,
this is
I
one-
want to watch that.
There's a movie that was by Sebastian Lelio, who did Gloria Bell, Navidad, Disobedience. I haven't seen any of his movies before, but this was really good. And she's really good in it. And it's all about like this girl. She like so Florence Pugh is like a nurse. She goes to this house where this young girl won't eat, and she's like nobody knows why she won't eat, and she hasn't eaten for like a month or two. And they're like, she's like, I'm praying to God, and he's like speaking to me or whatever, and I don't need to eat because I'm eating God's love or whatever, and he feeds me through faith. And it's all about like, I guess, an examination of faith and like what it like explores that kind of thing pretty well, and like how people can delude themselves in one way or another.
Yeah, it seems interesting.
It is
I'm
interesting.
looking forward to watching it.
The very first scene is very strange, so I'll just leave it at that.
Nice.
It's like it's quite. No, I won't say anything about it. It's just like quite weird, kind of what they do with it. And I was like, I wasn't expecting a movie like this to be so kind of weird with like how it tackles the story that it's telling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Other honourable mentions, I watched Barbarian.
Yeah, I want to watch that as well.
It's fucking weird. Batshit.
Oh.
It was like they took a hit of cocaine and just made the movie.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
that's what happened.
I was going to watch it today, but I'm waiting to watch it with Darcy because she's a big horror person.
Yeah. No spoilers.
I save all the horror movies to watch with Darcy.
Yeah,
because they are the only ones that I care about.
Yeah, they're the only
Correct.
ones I know I can actually convince her to watch.
That is true. That is actually so sad.
No spoilers. Pretty fucking weird. Just weird.
Okay.
Justin Long is in that movie. I was like, Justin Long from New Girl? That is so weird. He plays like an asshole character. I'm like, this is really weird seeing him play this kind of character, but he's really good in it. Yeah. Chris and I saw a movie in a little cinema called The Innocents.
Yeah,
this was like a superhero kind of movie.
When
Like,
the fuck
what
was
if
that?
kids discovered they had superpowers? And it was like basically examining what children would do with superpowers. And it's fucking they do some horrid shit to each other. They do some horrible stuff.
It is fucked up.
It's like a really fucking weird, horrible little movie from Norway.
I don't remember you guys ever going to see
Yeah, it's directed by the co-writer of The Worst Person in the World.
Oh,
Is it
that,
as well?
that
Yeah.
explains
Yeah.
everything, to be
Yeah, it
honest.
It's really weird.
It is weird as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually considered putting that as an honourable mention, but
Yeah.
I wasn't the biggest fan of it. But
No,
I do think it's really
definitely
interesting.
wasn't the biggest fan of it, but it is quite interesting with the themes it tackles.
There's a lot of moments that really have stuck in my mind, but I wouldn't watch it again, I don't think.
It kind of is like, I feel like superpowers in movies have been done to death.
Yeah.
But like, it's not that they've been done to death. It's that everything is like Marvel now.
Yeah.
And that's what
Right,
it like
got you,
basically
yeah.
boils down to. But you can use it in a different kind of way to tell different stories. What else did I see? Bunch of bullshit. The House. That was
Bunch of bullshit.
this was like a vignetted movie,
Yeah, you
Well,
watched that, didn't you, Darcy?
an animated one. Well, like
Was that the
first
shit?
one
No.
Yeah.
is like little people in a house. It's all centers around this house and like little like kind of, I don't know how to describe what they're made of really. It's like little
They're like felt.
felt like
Yeah.
stitching type stuff, and it's like the animation is gorgeous. It's like so lovely. Probably my favorite one might have been like the cats at the end where they're like on this house and it turns into a boat. That's really cool. It was a really cool little movie. Yeah, have you seen it?
I have seen it, and I thought this was like years ago. I felt like I watched it about a million years ago. Yeah, no, the first story was really cool. They had like this like haunted like house. Yeah, look, they're made out of like felt. They're fucking creepy.
It's cool. It's cool as hell to watch it.
Oh yeah, then there's the mouse is like an estate agent.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, just watch it once if you watch it once.
It's like watch it once. And it's good.
I didn't love it, but watch it once. Cat thing's cool.
One I watched in the cinema that was like really good was Belle. That was like an anime type of movie that was like a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, and it does that tale in quite a different way, and it's like telling stories about abuse, like child abuse, and it's really fucking weird. A lot of what happens in that movie is quite strange and sad.
Oh, sounds
but I would recommend it, and it looks lovely, and it looked amazing on like the big screen. It was so good to see that. See How They Run was really good. The Batman was really good. Prey was really good. I like that a lot, actually. They do a lot in that movie where like they made Predator fucking scary. But I've only seen the first Predator. I love that movie. This is really good as well.
Yeah, I've not got around to it. I don't really like Predator that much. So.
Yeah, just like good and like really good fight choreography, and like the way he uses like the weapons and stuff is really cool. Men by Alex Garland, that was good. Corsage, really good movie.
Yeah, looking forward to watching that.
About the Empress of Elizabeth of Austria, which is like so like what the fuck, like who cares? Like, what is it? I saw that movie, I was like, I don't know why I want to see this movie. It looks kind of weird, and like I saw the trailer, I was like, that looks kind of weird. It was like a BFI Presents type thing, and
I never heard of it. And then when I went to see After Sun, they had the trailer before, and I was like, that film looks crazy. They had the trailer for that Tar movie as well, which also looks insane.
Was it just as crazy as it seems?
It's like some weird shit that goes on there.
Okay.
There is some weird shit. It's like she was like such a presence. She was like in this, I don't know what you would call the monarchy at that time, like just this like industry, I suppose it was, where like everybody wants her to do things. She doesn't want to do the thing. She wants to like basically just like do things on her own and like have fun or whatever. And
live a life.
it's like, I think it's like about like a year in her life, and it's just told really well. And the acting is phenomenal. Who played her? Vicky Krieps.
Yeah, I love
she's
her.
amazing. She is so good.
Yeah. We'll see her next week. She's in Phantom Thread.
Nice, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's also a very sexy movie, really sexy.
I'm in.
Yeah, there we go. Honorable mention, After Sun. I'm sure Chris will talk about that, but I really like that.
Definitely.
One I saw on like a whim was Emily, which is a movie like this biopic about Emily Bronte, which I just like saw. Just fuck it, I'll just see this. It's on at the cinema. I'll see it. Really good, really well directed. Another really sexy movie.
Nice.
And just like the period is like really interesting, and like you learn a bit about. It's not like what actually happened to her, I don't think, but it's like the sort of retelling type thing, and taking this character from days gone by. Played really well, good stuff. And I got the DVD, but they didn't have it on my Blu-ray, which I think is kind of a crime.
Sure.
Yeah, Glass Onion, good. Triangle of Sadness, good. The Menu I saw, really good stuff with The Menu. I really like Anya Taylor-Joy and Ray Fiennes in that.
Yeah, I'm
they're
looking
great.
forward to that one. It's on Disney Plus next week. So.
Yeah, check that out. It's fucking weird. It's like weirdly like The Wicker Man or something. I was like, what the fuck? What is happening? It was like Pig with The Wicker Man or something. I don't know.
Oh man, The Wicker Man was sick.
Yeah. Apart from like that, I think I'm at the end. I think like we've mentioned pretty much everything else.
Yeah,
then we'll do like a top 10.
This is where the podcast becomes nightmare feel.
Do you have anything to mention, Darcy, before we kick off the top 10?
Absolutely not. I've not watched anything that no one else has watched, or I haven't watched that you guys have. So
Splendid.
yeah, I'm actually sitting this one out really because I've got nothing to say.
Cool.
Top 10, yeah.
Top 10.
Okay. My number 10 pick is Bardo, False Chronicle of a Handful of Truths, the new Alejandro Iñárritu movie.
What a great name.
It's so
It is
good.
great. He is a fantastic director. He's probably one of my favourites, to be honest. And I thought this was a really fascinating movie. It's very, very divisive, and I completely get why. It's very personal, quite obviously so. But I think it's a really fascinating movie. I really like how he blends like elements of Mexican history into the movie. There's a lot of like feelings of guilt in it. It is quite dark at points. It's very, very funny as well. But yeah, I thought it was just a really powerful, great movie.
Beautifully made as well. Such a passion project for the guy, I think.
Yeah, it's on Netflix now, so everyone check it out.
I'll watch it again, but it is quite a hard-hitting movie. I need to be in the right mindset for it.
I'll get around to rewatching it, but it's like it's a tough going one, so gonna be a while, I think.
Yeah. My number 10 is a movie that hasn't come out yet, but I watched anyway. Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, that we reviewed on the podcast. I was going to call it a 2022 movie because when am I going to see it? Like ever? Like, come on.
It comes out in February.
Yeah, but will it come out here?
Right.
Like where we are?
And if it does, I'm 100% going to go see it again. And I'm going to cry at the little shell lady again.
Yeah, it'll be on my 2023 list, I think.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch it.
I watched it in 2022. It's a 2022 movie for me. I'll just call it a 2022 movie. I really liked it, and I thought it was lovely.
It was
just lovely.
Adorable.
Check out our discussion on that.
Yes, where I talk about nothing but me sobbing and laughing. I've never laughed so much while crying at the same time because I was like, this is so fucking stupid. That's also what I did when I watched Marley and Me. I don't know if you two have ever seen that.
Yeah, I don't like Marley and Me.
No, I didn't either, but I was really upset. So I started crying and laughing because I was crying, and I was like, "This is dumb. The dog's not even real. Like, why am I why am I crying?" It's the same.
The dog isn't even real. It's just
but that's what I was doing with the shell lady. I was like, "The shell lady's not even fucking real. Why am I crying?"
She's even less real.
She is even less real.
My number 9 pick is the new Jordan Peele movie, Nope.
Ooh,
good film.
Spicy.
Probably the like summer blockbuster of the year. Like, kind of feels like a Spielberg movie at points. Like really, just huge adventure sort of movie that is also like straight up terrifying at points. That fucking monkey sequence like traumatized me.
Oh yeah, I never ever want to see or go near a monkey ever again in my whole life.
Like the first time we saw it, I was like, oh my God, that was fucked up. And then when me and Max saw it the second time, I was like fully shaking after.
It was horrible.
Because it contextualizes after you watch it.
Yeah.
And then when you watch it the second time, you're like, now I kind of understand what it's going for, more with the themes.
Yeah. But
I watched that 3 times.
It is really good. It's
I don't
really
know how you could watch that scene
movie.
again, to be honest.
Definitely my favourite Jordan Peele movie, I think. It's really great to see him working with such a huge budget, and I think he really plays it to his strengths. The design of like the alien in the movie is like one of the most inventive and unique designs I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And it's like really great, really stuck with me. I just had an absolute blast the movie both times I watched it.
Well, I liked it more because we watched this random clip of finding out how the extras were like screaming. So was it, where they're like, you had to protect, like, so basically I think the whole idea was, what's the difference between screaming in joy and screaming out of fear?
Yeah, so like when there's that sequence where all the people watching like the show that like park gets sucked up, Jordan Peele told all the people to scream as if they're on a roller coaster, and it just makes it so much creepier.
It's fucked up, and I was like,
it's
that's
about
so
that
true.
spectacle, right? Spoilers for Nope. Everyone's fucking seen it though.
I hope so. Anyway,
when they go up in there, it's horrifying, but it's like it does play with you. Like it does play with your mind. Like, were they like laughing a bit? Maybe
it sounded like they were. Now it makes sense. It really does.
Yeah, I just love those fucking close-up shots when they like go up.
They're
basically the throw, and they're like just like sobbing. It is horrible to watch and stuff. It's like probably one of the best set pieces. Maybe the best set piece in any movie this year. Which is just like the rain of blood that came onto the house and just how they were able to do that. It was just it was lovely. It's so nice.
Definitely
nice in the way that you're not thinking, by the way.
Just on like the scale of it and like how they were able to pull it off with all these like different like rigs and like different like
sick, to be fair.
Swirling like propeller sprinklers, and it's so cool. So fucking cool.
But yeah, definitely going to get the 4K at some point because enjoyed it a lot.
I got the 4K. I watched the documentary that comes along with that, and just the fucking scale of what went into that. So many people worked on it. So it's such a monumental achievement, I think, in cinema. It's so good. It's not only like one of the best movies of the year. I think it's just like one of the best movies probably for the past few years. Even it's really good.
I mean, it's like the only alien movie of recent that's made me go, aliens, cool.
Best alien movie since Arrival.
Yeah, I'd
say that.
I'd agree with that.
Was that one that we watched?
No, I don't think you've seen Arrival. Annihilation.
No. Yeah. Oh no, I know what happens in that film though, but I've not seen it.
Yeah.
Chris tells me he just ruins movies for me because he's like, you're never going to watch this, so here you go.
You just show them to you.
But yeah, I'm glad that this was like a big success because I think it'll be cool to see Jordan Peele with this much money making movies again.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait until the next one. It's going to be fucking off the head.
Yeah.
Giant, isn't it?
It's insane. Yeah, it's insane stuff. I guess I'll do my number 9. My number 9 was Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Okay.
Really good movie, and we talked about it. I don't think I have too much more to say other than what I said. I would like to watch it again, though, because I think it would probably go up a few paces. But they didn't release a Blu-ray here, like nothing. Just
I imported the 4K.
Yeah, Darcy got me the 4K for Christmas. She had to import it from
it cost me
Germany.
£40, I think.
Jesus, fuck me, man. Holy shit.
It was quite expensive, but Chris was like, I really want it, and I love this movie. I've seen it like 4 times, and I was like, all right, and I'll buy it.
Yeah, that was like the one thing I wanted for Christmas. And I watched it literally the day after she gave it to me.
It's going to be one of those I'm going to have to pirate. I don't like pirating things.
Well, you
I
just borrow it.
I don't really care.
Where even is it? Is it
Amazon
here?
Prime. No, it's like by the TV at the moment. I've not put it away yet. It's on Amazon Prime. Just use my subscription to watch it.
Okay.
Actually, that's a good offer. That way you don't have to go to all the effort of looking for it and stuff.
Yeah, good movie. Really good.
It's a great movie. It's fantastic.
Michelle Yeoh doing amazing stuff. And the Daniels. They're great. I love them so much. They're great directors.
My number 8 pick is Triangle of Sadness by Ruben Östlund.
Nice.
Really hilarious movie. One of the funniest movies of the year. Really great satire on like just the powerful, like the rich people. Kind of all about just kind of like comparing different classes and shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those. We've had a lot of those recently, and this was another good one to add to that list.
Yeah, but this one had new noise in it.
It did. It had a great usage of new noise.
In fact, this is my favourite usage of it ever in anything ever. It was amazing.
It was really good.
That sequence of everyone throwing up in the restaurant is
shitting.
One of the funniest and grossest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, one of the best scenes of the year. Yeah. I do hope they don't go overboard with movies like this, though. So I feel like it could become like another multiverse type trend.
Yeah.
Now we're making movies about the rich. Aren't the rich stupid? It's like, okay.
We already know the rich are stupid.
Yeah, but I liked that this wasn't like really critical of the rich. It was kind of just like, this is what it is. Then they kind of like, a lot of the rich characters, they still paint them as humans. Like the two main characters, like the film opens with like them having a big argument in a restaurant, and it's just, it just paints them as human beings, which a lot of them don't really.
Yeah, because when you do it like a binary, it's like you blur the lines a bit too much. And like you really want to make like just movies where like, the rich suck. How about that? It's like that is not helpful. I don't think.
No,
it doesn't provoke any like interesting discussion either. It's
I kind of feel like it also sets up to divide people even more, doesn't it? Because it's like, this is the rich.
Hate?
Yeah, the rich. Who do we hate? The poor. It's not good for trying to build back up communities, is it? I suppose.
Yeah. My number 8. We're on number 8.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know.
Is a movie that Chris and I saw. Decision to Leave from Park Chan-wook. Saw that in cinema. Fucking brilliant stuff. Just really weird kind of interconnected web of mystery they're going around trying to solve. I love movies where they have to solve some shit, and then there's like these people who are detectives, and they just got to solve. They just got to get the guy or whatever. But who's the guy? Who do they have to catch? And it's like all centering around like this woman that he's like who her partners are dying or whatever. Like her husband dies. They're like, are you a suspect? I don't know. Are you something? And this the lead cop is like trying to figure it all out, but he's slowly falling in love with her, and it like all goes. It's just fucked. It's so fucking weird.
Yeah, it starts off as like a murder mystery, then becomes like this weird like love triangle romance, like just crazy batshit thing.
Nice.
It is, and it's shot so bloody well. And it's like the pacing of it is lovely. It's amazing, and I think we'll get a Blu-ray of it because it was Mubi.
Yeah, it comes out I think in the next month or two.
Yeah, that'd be good. Can't wait to get
that's
that
on my list. I'll bring it up later.
I think that's I was gonna say that's probably something that Chris will make me watch at some point.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Love Park.
He said I'd like it. He said
I think you would. Well, you like Korean movies from what you've seen.
I do. I fucking do love a
Park Chan-wook is one of my favourites. He's probably my favourite like Korean director. I love like most of his movies, like Old Boy or The Handmaid is my favourite one he's done. That's like a masterpiece.
Thirst is brilliant.
Yeah, First is good.
Cool. Thanks, Park.
Yeah, my number 7 pick is Bones and All, the new Luca Guadagnino movie. This is one of the grossest movies I saw all year.
We were literally just talking about this as well.
It's insane.
It's fucked, innit? I saw that twice.
I think I am going to watch this, actually. I just
can't believe
don't know where.
I fucking saw this twice, like 10 p.m. In the cinema. Both times, sorry, at 10 p.m. I got out at like 1 a.m. The first time I saw it, I was like, oh, okay. Walk out of the cinema. It was like one of those movies that like just jars you, and it's like being fucking clocked around the face. And I was just like walking back to my bike. I was like on autopilot. I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck was that? What the fuck? It's disgusting stuff, and like really like horrible and like visceral. One of the most visceral experiences you can have with a movie this year.
I actually can't wait to watch it and be absolutely not affected by it whatsoever, because I seem to have this sort of anti-effect that you guys seem to have with movies.
I thought it was really interesting. It's like his last 2 movies have been Call Me By Your Name and the Suspiria remake, and it's kind of like feels like the perfect like blend of those two, because it is a romance, but it is also just a straight up horror movie as well.
Yeah, it's weird. He does really well at like blending the kind of vibe that you would expect from like a Call Me By Your Name, where it is quite laid back. The music is never like bah, 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 bah. It's like it's very like laid back and like kind of almost something you expect. It's like a road trip movie as well as like road trip movie music, and they're going around eating people, and it's fucked up and it's horrible, and like it's just like
great Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross score.
Oh
It's
yeah,
really
that
good.
was one of the
Really
reasons
good
I was going to
stuff,
watch
A
this.
lot of it is kind of like what you'd expect from a road movie, like that sort of like acoustic, twangy sort of a guitar thing, but it's always like very unnerving at the same
I'm
time.
so excited.
yeah.
It's like this one like theme that plays a couple of times in the movie where it's like an acoustic guitar, but I think one or two of the strings are out of tune and it sounds like very atonal and creepy.
Interesting.
It's a creepy fucking movie as well. There's like parts of this movie where like, I'm just sat like frozen. I can't believe what's happening. It's a very primal movie.
Yeah.
You know, it's like going for like to like it's what I thought about themes of like likening us to like the animals and like how we kind of differentiate ourselves from that more primal instinct that we all kind of have in ourselves, but like stop ourselves from becoming, or like where do you draw the line between like us and like how we need to carry ourselves, or like what we need to do to be human, and the link between us and like the animals and like more animalistic tendencies and natures. It's fucking weird stuff, man.
It is.
But I really love the acting as well, and like they played the parts really fucking well, and it's like they sold this kind of weird, disgusting romance between the two of these people. And I don't know. I want to get your thoughts on like Mark Rylance. He was in the movie. What did you think of him?
Fucking incredible. It's like probably the best performance I saw this year. He is incredible in the movie.
He's a creepy man.
Yeah.
He's a weird guy.
Oh, he's one that you've spoken about. We were
I was
talking about the
telling
film
her
earlier,
about,
but
his like rope of hair.
Yeah.
oh yeah, that did sound pretty
Sully
fucked up.
doesn't
It was
kill
like,
people.
yeah, it was like
Sully
some
doesn't-
madness.
Sully doesn't want to hurt nobody, but he has to. I'm like, this guy's fucked up.
That's so
man. He's weird
weird.
as hell. Oh, I hated it. I hated it so much. So much of this movie, I was like,
So much
do
you
I
saw it
actually
twice.
even like this? Is this like good?
Mm.
But it is. It's like really fucking good. It's
Yeah.
one of my
Mm.
favorites of the year for sure.
Another one with like really great licensed music as well.
Mhm.
It's a great sequence where Atmosphere by Joy Division's playing. And then they like contrast it later on by playing New Order, which is obviously the follow-up band to Joy Division, who are much more upbeat. And it like fits because like earlier in the movie when Joy Division's playing, it's like quite a somber sort of scene. And then when New Order's on, it's like when things are like really positive and happy.
This actually sounds like my movie.
and the
This is
movie
everything
also
that I love in a movie.
Ends, like the ending is really upsetting, and it ends with this like really somber, beautiful cover of a Men at Work song, which I
Yeah.
thought was quite an interesting decision, but it really fits, and it's
That's it. Yeah.
really great.
This is definitely my movie.
Yeah,
You
I
gotta
think
watch
you'd
it.
like
I was
it.
gonna say,
really gotta
literally
watch it.
everything listed is my movie.
When I saw it the first time, I didn't know who directed it. And then like Luca Guadagnino's name came up at the end. I was like, what the fuck? I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, it makes sense.
That's why
to
I'm
be
so
fair.
excited to watch it because I
Yeah.
love him. He's great.
See, my favorite thing about this is that I like when we all watch a movie or something, and a director will come up and you guys be like, "Whoa!" and I'll be like, "Who
Yeah,
the fuck is that?"
Yeah.
That happens
Who-
every time, near enough.
He's up there, man. He is. He kind of doesn't miss.
To be fair,
Call Me By Your Name, then Suspiria, then Bones and All.
I think I've only
I've
seen
heard every single one of his movies are great.
Yeah.
I've
but
only seen
I
that
need
one.
to
I
watch
think.
I think there's two others I've not
Yeah.
seen that I need to watch.
Nice. Thank you, Luca, for one of those.
For one of those. Nice.
Who's next?
Yeah.
Me?
What number are we?
Yeah.
at?
Seven.
Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
Nice.
Lovely stuff.
Why did I immediately think of the other Pinocchio? And I thought, no, you're a liar, an absolute liar.
No. No, just like one of the best. I mean, what is it? Best animated one this year, probably. Yeah, probably.
Let's be honest,
I
it's
really
been about
loved
a
it.
million, so yeah,
Yeah, it was
probably,
amazing.
yeah. I'd agree. A great
We
movie.
talked about it before.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Last episode was
Yeah,
it?
so we probably
So
should.
yeah, listen to
Yeah.
that. On
Yeah.
our thoughts. Yeah, I loved it. Oh, it's
It's
so
amazing.
good. It's so nice.
Nice. My number 6 pick's Decision to Leave.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nothing more to add.
6. The worst person in the world.
Was that this year? No,
For
you
us,
guys are
yeah, it
you
was.
guys are fucking me up, man. Because I swear to God, these films were like 3
Came out
years
last year in
ago.
America, but for us, it came out this year. It's amazing. It's I mean, we talked about it, but it really gets to grips with like the kind of millennial problem.
Yeah, that's
The struggle.
the feeling of
The
being
struggle.
like in your mid to late 20s, not really knowing what you're doing.
That's me. I
Yeah.
live that every day. That
I
was
watched
literally
it
me.
when I was at home the second time. Cried my eyes out. It's so much like it's too relatable in a way.
Yeah, that's how I felt about it.
It's just fucked, man. It's so upsetting to watch, like, but it's so like weirdly hopeful as well, and like
It is.
yeah, we all feel like this, and it's fucked, and we're in a weird kind of world, but we're in it together, and we do all kind of feel this way. So it kind of gives you like that kind of glimmer of hope. When like, well, if everyone feels this way, then we're not truly alone. Even if we might feel like we're very alone in these feelings a lot of the time.
It felt quite parallel universe. Having watched, what was that thing that we watched? The Evil Dead remake. And then me and Max went to some gig, and then when we come back, Chris was just sitting in the dark watching like the last hour of this movie, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah,
It was like the most surreal experience of my whole life.
I really something I really love about the movie that I wasn't a big fan of the first time was like the epilogue.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I wasn't a big fan of it. I just wasn't sure it really fit. I kind of wished it had ended before that, but I think it fits really well because like the film basically ends with everything fucking up, like going wrong for this character. And then there's this epilogue where it's really positive. It shows like the character doing the things that they want to do.
Yeah.
And it shows like her boyfriend, like who's gone off and is now living a different happy life. And I think it's just it like ends it on a positive note. Whereas I feel like if you didn't have that, it would just be like pure depression.
I won't say that ending was happy.
And this is the
either.
ending. It's like, and we just got to carry on. You just got to keep doing it.
That's the thing, though. It's a story that doesn't really end, does it? It's just a chronicle after another thing after another thing. I kind of appreciated that, though. I don't really like those movies that are like, and it will be okay, because, I mean, is it?
So, yeah, just wonderful, wonderful stuff. Wonderfully made.
Yeah, I watched another one of Joachim Trier's movies called Oslo 31 August.
Weird name.
That was fucking depressing. That's one of the most miserable movies I've ever seen.
Nice.
Oh, didn't I come back for the end of that film?
Yeah, it's like a film about
Jesus
a guy who's
Christ.
like an addict and he escapes rehab.
Yeah, I remember this now.
And it's like about this day. No, he doesn't escape rehab. He's got like a day where
Day
he's
leave.
off. Yeah, day leave. And he's like about to leave rehab and he's kind of just going around like looking at the people whose lives he basically destroyed, trying to like work out whether he actually does want to carry on living and shit.
It is. Now that I remember the ending, it is probably what. Like, I didn't even watch it for that long, and I was like, "Oh, Chris,
Sounds good.
Like,
it is good.
There's a lot of times where I'll come home and Chris will watch something really depressing, and I'm like, "Are you all right? Like, are you okay?" Like, I don't know whether he's okay.
It's one of those where you watch and you're like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, one of those.
Like, is this cathartic for you? Are you actually okay? Like, do I need to call someone? I don't know half the time.
Like experiences like that.
It's fucking mad.
Number 5, is it now?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Must be.
Yeah, because you just did Worst Person in the World, didn't you? Yeah. My number 5 pick is The Quiet Girl, directed by Colm Baird.
Ooh. Colm Baird.
Yeah. It's her,
Irish, eh?
yeah.
Nice.
It's an Irish movie. It's her debut. The whole film is, it's not in English. It's in Irish, interestingly
That's
enough.
awesome. You don't get enough of
It
that.
fucking destroyed me.
Yeah.
I cried like the whole movie. It's like just about this girl who's like kind of, I wouldn't say she's got an abusive relationship with her parents, but her parents are quite neglectful. And they send her away for a summer, and she lives with like relatives that she's never met before. And the relatives basically just like look at her, realize how she's been treated, and then like just treat her like she's their own daughter for like a summer. And it's just so powerful, so beautiful. It's just really fantastic movie.
I will be interested to check that out when it comes out.
Where did you even watch it?
Maybe in a couple of months.
I rented it on Google Play, I think.
Oh.
Oh, is it? I will see whenever that goes to Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's like a really
Facts.
simple, quiet sort of movie. It's not one where loads of stuff happens, but it just kind of washes over to you. And like the ending, just like it fucking destroyed me.
Nice. Blah, blah, blah. Number 5, The Banshees of Inisherin. Chris mentioned this before. Martin McDonagh joint coming back with the In Bruges team of Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson.
Woo!
oh man, it's good. Saw this twice in the cinema. Just makes you want to have a pint with the boys. And it's about like just this guy who's decided not to be friends with his friend he's been friends with for years and years and years. It's very sad. A lot of it is very dour and bleak.
Yeah.
But it has that comedy to it and that comedic edge. I got a lot from like this is so much my kind of movie because it's like so much like in with like really subtle hints at like folklore and like stuff that's kind of happening in the background that you kind of don't pick up on a first go round, but maybe you pick up a bit more on like a second or a third. It's like stuff with like this old woman, which I didn't really understand, but I would like to. I feel like they know what's going on there, but like I don't really know. But I think there's stuff going on with like Ireland and like Irish folklore, which kind of reminds me of the trilogy, the Irish folklore trilogy. They kind of go in with like hardcore with like the like folklore type aspects. But there's stuff in this movie where it's just like, oh, in the background there will be like just like some figure and you don't know what it is. There's a scene where Colin Farrell's like waving goodbye to someone, but like behind and like to the side there's like a blurred sort of shadow figure, but you never know who that is. But you kind of, it's like, what does that mean? So yeah, it just does a really good. It's set in this like fictional island of Inisherin, but like the Irish like countryside and stuff. It's fucking beautiful.
Yeah,
it's such a gorgeous movie, and got a donkey in it.
A donkey,
lovely little donkey in there. And yeah, I think they're just like a powerhouse. Brendan Gleeson and Colin Farrell. I think they just bounce off each other so well. And it's like it affects me because I'm like I've gone through periods where like I don't know if I like wanted to talk to certain people that like I knew before, or like try to cut people out of my life. But it's also like set in the background. There's like a war going on, and I think it's about more like rivalry and like it's pointless struggle against each other when there shouldn't. There's like a fucking brilliant scene where Colin Farrell gets drunk and he like talks to Brendan Gleeson. He's like, it's like, you used to be nice, you used to be kind, and I love my sister, she's nice and she's kind. And he's like, who's going to remember you in 100 years? Says Brendan Gleeson, because he like basically cuts him out of his life because he just talks too much and like he's not getting anything done. Because like if I cut him out of my life, I can write this like song or whatever. But like, what does it matter if he's dead? And he's like, I'll be remembered when I'm dead. But he sacrificed all that to be a dick, really. Yeah. And Colin Farrell's like you used to be kind. Well, did you ever used to be kind? I don't even know. And it's all about like kindness and trying to treat people right. And yeah, it's just it gets to me, man. It's like really emotional, heavily emotional, and like trying to explore like how far can you eventually take it before you just can't come back from it.
Yeah.
It's fucking fantastic.
It is great. Barry Keoghan has like delivered one of my favourite performances of the year as well. He's insane in the movie.
Oh, he's lovely. He's a great actor. I was like, oh fuck, it's him. Yeah, Barry Keoghan. I love him. Eternals alum.
Yeah, and The Green Knight, a significantly better movie.
Oh. Yeah. He's Killing of a Sacred Deer. He's an interesting actor, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
My number 4 pick is a movie I loved. It's quite divisive out the three of us in that I loved it, but you guys didn't, and that was Licorice Pizza, new Paul Thomas Anderson movie.
Yeah.
I've seen it a couple times, got the Blu-ray, so I'm really looking forward to watching it again. But I just had an absolute blast with it. It's just so much fun. It's like a series of set pieces, and I thought every single one of them was just really entertaining, really well written and directed, fantastic acting, and probably my favourite soundtrack of the year.
I mean, quite annoyingly, it's one of those where I really like everything else about the movie apart from the main 2 characters, which actually is quite a strange thing to say. But I enjoyed the movie.
Love the characters.
Had they been 1 of a decent age, because gross, and 2 anyone else but who they were. But it wasn't like it was badly acted or anything. It's nothing like that. It's just I can't really get over how gross, icky, gross it is.
Yeah,
and
I think it's like a big debate to be had about.
Yeah, I can't get over that in my head. So if I can't get over that in like, it's honestly, I can't put up with it just because it's in a movie and it's fake. If I think it's weird in real life, I'm going to think it's weird in a movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I didn't gel with it, because I just thought it was just icky, gross.
That did put me off. Yeah,
it's disgusting, to put it quite frankly.
As much as I think it's a well-made movie.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's well made, it's well acted, but
gross, though.
Yeah, I can't get over the icky,
not in
gross.
a good way.
Yeah, therefore I can't enjoy it. So sorry.
Not like in the way that my number 4 pick was, bones and all.
That's how that works.
Yeah, it's just gross. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck, man? Who's the girl? Taylor Russell. She was so good.
Yeah,
she was awesome.
I loved her in Waves as well.
Yeah, she's great in that.
Oh, the movie that Chris is trying to still get me to watch.
Yeah,
I think.
one day.
It's good stuff.
Yeah,
it's good stuff.
Yeah, it's a great movie. The only reason I've not made you watch it yet is because it's really heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what, heavy for me or heavy for you?
Maybe both. Definitely for me.
Okay, maybe not.
You'll just be there like, Chris, why are you crying? Why are you crying, huh? Huh?
Yeah. See, no, remember, guys, it's the stupid things that make me cry, but it's the serious stuff that makes you cry. Yeah. I think I'm actually emotionally, like, what's the word? Undeveloped or something. Like, there's something not right with me.
To be fair, with that movie, it doesn't help that it ends with a Radiohead song that I can't listen to without crying as well. So it's like really sad shit going on, and this one song that I can't listen to.
Yeah.
That's the power of music, baby. That's what it would do.
Yeah. We spoke about my number 3 pick already, but that was The Worst Person in the World.
Oh, cool.
My number 3 pick is Bardo.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I love it. I really want to. Yeah, I want to watch that again. Now it's on Netflix. I think it would be a really good watch.
My number 2 pick is After Sun by Charlotte Wells.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Another movie that I pretty much cried for the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
It really hit me hard. I thought it was just a really powerful, fucking beautiful movie, like about this like guy who's taking his daughter on holiday. She's I think 12, like she just turned 12, 13 maybe. She's kind of starting to discover her sexuality, starting to kind of understand that a bit, and kind of coming to grips about who it is that she's attracted to, whether it's men or women, while her dad's incredibly depressed and is like suicidal, and he's really struggling, and it's like
he felt quite lonely.
Yeah, definitely. And it's a really powerful movie, I think.
Yeah.
There's a sequence towards the end that plays Under Pressure, which is one of the most like emotionally affecting scenes I've ever seen in a movie. I was like, I couldn't stop crying. I think I walked home pretty much the entire time. I was still in tears. And just the ending, it killed me.
It's good stuff. It took me a while to kind of understand what it was going for. So I think on a second watch, it might go up in my estimations.
Well, it's kind of like, it's all about like memories and like, because it does cut back to the daughter every once in a while, like now she's like grown up, and it's kind of about how she's now looking back on her memories and recontextualizing them. And as the film goes on, you kind of do the same. You look back on, as you find more and more out, you look back on earlier scenes and you recontextualize what happened in it. I think it's just a movie that gets better as it goes along, and it will definitely get better upon repeated viewings.
Yeah, I like movies that show parents as just like horrendously flawed people.
Yeah,
or like they're just trying to they when you're a child, you have this feeling that your parents have it all figured out and adults have it all figured out. So when a movie kind of goes like, actually they kind of like, they don't really have it all figured out, and like they're still trying to navigate the world much in the same way a child is, but on like different sort of level, and it's all really interesting to watch that. And I think what's his face? He does a great job with it. What's his face? Fucking
Paul Mescal,
yeah. And Frankie Corio, who played the little girl, she's
really great.
Yeah.
Found it relatable as well, watching an early 2000s holiday resort. Took me back to my childhood.
Oh dear God.
Yeah.
Sounds awful.
They're just like they're on holiday and like they kind of don't want it to end, because then they got to go back to whatever the fuck is at home or whatever, and he's There's like one.
I've heard that story so many
times. There's like one like short scene where like he's just like sobbing in his room, and I'm like, oh man, like you never want to see your dad like in tears, do you? It's just like it's hard to watch. Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
There's also the scene. One of the scenes that got me the most was like when they had like a bit of an argument, and they like go to like karaoke, like father-child karaoke, and like. She signs him up to do Losing My Religion, and he's like, I don't want to do this, I'm not going up. And she goes up and sings the entire song by herself. And he's like, he's just sat there, and she's like looking up, like trying to get him to come down. He's just refusing.
Yeah. That was hard to watch. It was so sad. It was like great to watch her go for it, you know, but at the same time it's like, just do it, man. Like you've got to let loose. You got to make a fool of yourself. Like you can't just let your daughter do this. It's like it's
oh my God,
really hard to watch.
I'd be mortified, but only because like, can she? Is she like? Was she like?
Was she good?
Yeah.
No, she wasn't good.
Okay, no, that makes it slightly better because like I would go up there knowing if I was just as shit, I'd be like, okay, this could be fun. But like this is what I've had this conversation before with people. When I go to gigs with people that can sing, like Chris. I fucking hate standing next to him and singing because I'm like, I can't fucking sing. So a lot of the time I'll be like, or just shouting because I'm like, if I sing, I'm going to be terrible. I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
I get the fear.
No, it's worse that she was bad at singing, I think, because if she was like good at it, everyone would be like, yeah, that was awesome. But because she was like kind of a bit bad because she was a kid and she just wanted to do it for fun. She was like, I signed us up for this because I thought it would be fun.
Well, it depends how old is she meant to be, sorry?
It's like 12, 13.
See, that's not so bad because then people might look at her and be like,
do it like alone.
It's a bit of pity in it, but
and it's like, oh man, like
yeah, that's
really? You should have just tried like a little bit.
To be fair, yeah, if you can't let someone do that. That's just it's not right, is it?
Yeah, I like that a lot. I want to see it again at some point.
Yeah, it comes out on Blu-ray the end of February.
Yeah.
I've got the release date on my calendar for some reason.
Nice.
It's true. We told me about this the other day.
I was like going through, like trying to find when I had a gig, and I just saw it. I was like, okay.
I need to hear Max's number one because I already know what Chris is going to say.
Two.
So, fucking
we're on
hell.
number 2. My number 2 is Nope.
Okay. Well, that's done that then, isn't it?
It's really good. I love it.
I already know what Chris is going to say. So
yeah, everyone knows. It's everywhere, all at once.
Everywhere, all at once.
Everywhere.
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
The great one.
I was actually saying to Darcy yesterday, I think this might already be in my all-time top 10. I fucking love this movie so much.
I'm not surprised to hear it.
It's just, I think it's just such an interesting, well-made movie. It tackles so much in such a fascinating way. It's really existential, has a really great look on life and relationships and like the decisions we make. And it tackles it in such a experimental and unique way. It's so messy, but in a way where it's like perfectly messy, and it just comes together in such this beautiful, powerful way. Like it's full of some of the like most fun, well choreographed action sequences I've seen in a film this year. It's full of some of the dumbest jokes I've seen all year, like a sequence that parodies 2001 where all the apes have hot dog fingers.
Great
or like
stuff.
The guy has the raccoon on his head instead of the rat, like for Ratatouille.
Well, if it helps, Chris, it was also the first on my list as well.
Yeah, but it's also just like really powerful, really emotional. Every time I watch it, I've seen it 3 times now, and every time I watch it, I think I've cried more and more. Like
the duration is longer, supposedly.
Yeah, but I love it more every time I watch it. I think it's just going to be one that I endlessly rewatch. It's like every time I watch it, I want to watch it again.
Yeah.
I've actually put obviously I made like a list, but obviously all the lists were the same, so I was like, okay.
What was your list though?
Oh, my list was literally just the best, and then it's just got Everything Everywhere, Triangle of Sadness, Nope, and The Northman.
Yeah.
In that order. And it just says Everything Everywhere, masterpiece. Any movie that makes me cry is an automatic 10 out of 10. I don't make the rules. That is what my note says. I didn't get too deep and philosophical with it because I thought not only have we already mentioned it before, but I knew Chris was going to go on about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, if it makes me cry, it automatically gets a 10 out of 10. That's how it goes.
And After Sun are like the two we talk or the two that have come out this year that I'd love to talk about, like really in depth on the podcast at some point.
I think you're just gonna have to make a really long episode for yourself.
No, we could talk about it. It's fine. Cool. Number 1, The Northman.
The Northman.
Barring some clunky fight choreography, I think.
Forget about the fight choreography.
Thematically, going for something really powerful. The set pieces are insane. It is a huge movie, and I know that Robert Eggers does not want to make a movie like this again, this high budget with all these moving parts, but I think he pulled it off and then some. It is fucking insane, fucking, it's so powerful. Like the whole, it is kind of like Hamlet in a way, I suppose, and like just the themes of like revenge and like trying to overcome this idea of revenge and what you should prioritize over like just hate. You should he got a lot of things wrong in that movie. I think the main character, you watch like this succession of like things he was doing ultimately for a goal that meant nothing, and it's amazing. It's such a fucking well-made movie. I mean, all the places they go to, it's like insane. The scene where they like poison the soldiers with mushrooms is fucking incredible. They start stabbing each other and they start stabbing themselves because they're having wild hallucinations.
Wild trip.
And that one scene with Bjork is fucking weird as hell.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good.
This whole film is so weird. I think it's very underrated, actually. I think it so, deserved more than it got. But didn't it also go... Once again, I thought this film came out like 6 years ago. Like,
no, it came out right at the beginning of the year.
It must have.
I think it was like February.
But that's part of the problem, isn't it? Like, obviously, all the good films
like
tend to come out... Was it?
No, it
wasn't.
No,
you're fucking chatting shit. No, you're chatting shit. When did it come out? No.
But yeah.
Surely not.
Alexander Skarsgård, who's in that, he plays the main guy.
He was amazing.
Just goes to places just never really seen him go to in any movie. And he does a fantastic job. Anytime he's like, got his fucking like wolf pelts on, he's howling at a fucking fire. It's like, oh man, what the fuck?
It was April, by the way.
Yeah, so there's like a scene where like he's like they're crowded around the fire and he's like they're like howling and he's fucking
they're doing this
his eyes go like inside his skull and it's just like completely white and it's like just imagine the places you got to go to get this kind of performance from people.
It was sick. I loved this film. I really did. I did what made it most enjoyable for me was when the film ended and the guys behind us got up and said, well, that was shit, wasn't it? Yeah. And we were like, what the fuck?
What did you watch?
We watched a different film. We watched a different film to them.
I think the marketing made it kind of look like an action movie. Yeah. So people kind of went to it expecting that, but that's not what it is at all.
See, it's way more meditative.
I actually preferred that because I don't really like action films. So when it was not how it was meant to be, I was like, actually, I preferred this version of this movie.
I get why they like marketed it how they did because like
people got to watch
it how it actually is. It probably would have flopped even harder than it did.
Probably. But you know, I don't think there's any shortage on the action actually because I really like what they do with it. But then you do have these weird other scenes that just like there's not a dull moment really. I don't think, and like the scene where like the father has taken his Amleth into like the bunker or whatever, and they're like acting like dogs and fucking howling at each other or whatever, and Willem Dafoe's there. He's like, "Yes, be the dog." It's like, this is weird, man. It is weird stuff happening in this, and like stuff that's like really fucking. I don't know if like anybody else would dare to show stuff that's happening in this. So like, really, the scene where like he finally finds his mother after so long, it's like. Make out or whatever. It's like, what the fuck? Like, just all these different reveals where it's like, this is what happens when you let rage and revenge consume you, and he has no other purpose but just revenge. And it's like all this time you're like, what happens when you actually do get your revenge though? Like, really, what are you gonna do? Nothing much.
I think that there's basically
this is whole purpose.
What is it? Yeah, because he's so consumed by it's like, oh, you can stay here and have your new wife and bear children, or well, not him, but you know what I mean. Or you can go and kill yourself and this man out of revenge. And he's like, do you know what? I think I'm going to go and kill this guy. I'm going to go kill him. And I'm just like, you're an idiot, man. You're a fool.
Yeah.
You never
admire,
learn.
like, the power of this man's throat as well. It's like,
Bruh.
just how can you do all these? He's shouting so much. He's like, really like powerful, like screaming in this. They're like banging pots and pans around the fire. He's like, or like when he like finally reveals himself. I mean, full spoilers for the Northman. When he finally reveals himself to his uncle, he's like, "I am his vengeance." And I'm like, it's so sick. It's so fucking cool. It's awesome.
It was,
and it's so much like my kind of movie. Where it's steeped in like this medieval sort of English lore
Max
and
fucking
stuff.
loves these
it's
like
so cool.
folk. Fucking
The crows that like go when he's like
dramas.
he's been captured and the crows that fucking free him. Oh, it's so cool. What the fuck? All this stuff. It's so awesome. Love it.
Madness.
Thank you, Eggers. Can't wait to see what you do next.
Nosferatu.
Can't wait. Cannot wait for that. Hope he actually gets to do it. It's been like this sort of thing that's hanging in the air.
Yeah.
Like, does he get to do it? Does he not? I think people have been cast though. So that's
I think it's in active development now.
There we go.
I think it originally was going to have Anya Taylor-Joy and Willem Dafoe in it, but they've dropped out. It's now Bill Skarsgård, Lily Rose Depp, and Nicholas Hoult in it.
Interesting. That is interesting, actually, yeah.
Love
be
Bill
interested to see that.
Skarsgård, so I think he'll be incredible as like the vampire in that.
I like Nicholas Hoult as well. He was in The Menu. He was really good in that.
He's good.
One of the old Skins alums. Yeah. And Mad Max Fury Road, of course. Yeah,
and
I like him a lot.
The X-Men ones.
And the X-Men ones, yeah. Can't forget about those. Cool. That's that. 2022. In a nutshell.
Another year over.
Another year over. What's out next year? Aquaman 2. That'll be good.
Puss in Boots 2.
Puss in Boots 2.
Which apparently is actually great.
Yeah. I can't wait for it.
The Tobey Maguire movie.
Well, Babylon.
Yeah.
He's only in one scene, so you're going to be quite disappointed.
The fuck. What is the point? The one time I get excited to watch a movie and
it's a 3-hour-long movie.
Wait. So I just said, wait.
Actually, he might be in it more, but I've heard he's only in one scene.
Wait. So when I was like, guys, we should go see this, and you guys didn't say, Darcy, I don't think you want to go see that. It's 3 hours and Tobey Maguire's only in one scene. Why did you not say anything? Well, now you said it. Now you said
you
no.
like Whiplash?
Oh, I fucking love Whiplash.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that doesn't mean I want to go see a 3-hour movie without Tobey Maguire.
I've heard it's complete batshit insane. It's very divisive. People either think it's like a really ridiculous masterpiece or it's like just awful.
Nice. I love ridiculous masterpieces.
I actually kind of
they said that about Bardo.
Maybe they
I love
did.
these kinds of things.
Yeah.
What else is out next year? Tar. That's out like you'd almost count that as a this year kind of movie, but it's not really because I can't see it yet.
Same with The Fabelmans, the new Spielberg movie, which I'm really looking forward to. Heard like nothing but great things about that.
Yeah, I'm not excited for that.
I knew it. See, I was like, Max is not going to enjoy that.
I don't
Definitely not.
Put a downer on it. I'm like, it's probably quite good. It probably is good. You know, it's Steven Spielberg making a movie about Steven Spielberg. Everyone's going to be, oh man, that was like awesome. I love Spielberg.
John Wick.
That's going to be awesome. That is going to be awesome.
Yeah. Wait, is the new Spider-Man out this year?
Next year.
Is it next year?
Spider-Verse, yeah.
Is that this year or this year? No,
it's going to be like June time, I think.
No, I think it's November now.
What?
They moved it.
No.
That's fucked. That's fucked.
What's the point? What's even the point?
What else you got?
I was afraid.
Oh, it's Willy Wonka out there next year. The
Wonka.
The
for the Wonkaverse movies to branch out.
Yeah, Wonka's coming out.
Dune 2.
I have to say, I'm actually looking forward to Wonka.
I do want to see it.
Timmy's there.
Guy.
Love him.
But I don't think I'm going to like it. But I do want to see it.
By the guy who did the Paddington movies, so I think it's going to be good.
Love him.
And Dune 2.
That's going to be the best one ever. Forever. Florence Pugh in that.
I think that's going to come out quite quickly.
That's going to be great. That is the one I'm most hyped for.
Javier Bardem, Christopher Walken, Josh Brolin.
Sorry?
Fucking
Dave Bautista.
Dave Bautista!
Yeah, they were in those ones. They were in the last one.
Dave Bautista.
Christopher Walken wasn't though, was it?
No.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Was Javier
is this the
Bardem,
same film? Or?
Javier Bardem was in it.
Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah. A lot of people in that movie.
I only saw it once. I don't really remember it now.
Fucking gee, I've seen it like 8
Indiana
times. Maybe.
Jones, that one's coming out.
No,
Lame.
thank you.
Whatever.
Little Mermaid remake.
Lame.
Oh, yeah.
Killers
No,
of the
I
Flower
won't
Moon.
see
Is that
that.
coming out next year?
What film?
Yeah, I think
Killers
so.
of the Flower Moon, the new Scorsese joint
That is a great name.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
with
Should
Leo.
be good. Barbie.
Barbie.
Barbie, that's the
Yeah,
one.
that's going to be awesome.
Barbie.
The Mario movie.
No, thanks.
No,
Don't wanna see that.
no.
The movie that was the new Ari Aster movie. What was
Beau
it
is
called
Afraid?
before?
Disappointment Boulevard.
Yeah, now
Yeah.
it's called Beau is Afraid. Got
That's
The
gonna be
Whale
good.
also.
What?
The Whale.
The Whale. Yeah.
Scream 6.
Ugh.
New Wes Anderson movie, Asteroid City.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to go see The Whale. I already know what happens because I've watched a lot of American YouTubers talk about
Cocaine Bear.
it. Cocaine Bear?
Yeah.
Nah, turn that
That'll
phone
be
around.
the
You're
best
lying
one.
to me.
The film about a bear that does a bunch of cocaine and goes on a rampage.
I kind of
Yeah,
want to
it's gonna
see
be
it,
great.
but I feel
Based on a true story.
Oh, come on. What the fuck?
Nah, you can't participate in that. That is
Cocaine
nonsense.
Bear.
That is
Add
absolute
that to the
nonsense.
list. Cocaine Bear.
I'm not participating in that. Absolute
Oh, dear.
nonsense.
I found out the other day there's a new Transformers movie coming out.
Really?
Had no
In
clue
real
until there
life?
was a trailer
Shia
before
LaBeouf?
Avatar.
Of course not.
No.
I know, that's why
Who
I
was
had
in
to
it?
ask.
Don't know, Mark Wahlberg doesn't need those ones.
No, not anymore.
Yeah,
There's a bunch of people that I've not seen and stuff before.
I was just going to be like a
Like a
Home Alone
new
4 kind
trilogy
of thing,
they're
yeah. Jesus.
Yeah.
That's a shame, isn't it? I don't know who for,
Shazam, Fury of the Gods. They think they're doing. That was a decent movie. That first one. We got David F. Sandberg doing it again, so I think he'll do a good job with it.
Oh, yeah, Oppenheimer's coming out, the new
Oh, fucking
Christopher
course, yeah.
Nolan.
You see, he
Eh?
detonated a real nuclear bomb. I need to make this realistic. No CGI. Detonate the nuclear missiles. He replicated it in like, his image. It's like fucking crazy shit.
Jesus
That is going to be insane.
Christ.
He's going to be great. Anything he does, I'm just like, come on. Even Tenet, which makes no sense. I'm like, woo, yeah.
This is madness. Absolute madness.
Gonna be
Damn.
good stuff. Some good stuff coming out next year.
Yeah. And I'm totally going to watch Marcel the Shell again.
Yeah.
If it comes there.
What else is on the docket? I don't even know.
Oh.
Who knows?
Oh, wait. Didn't we say we were going to go watch that movie, Chris? The one of them, there's a director from Portsmouth who made a film that's coming out.
Yeah.
And we said we were going to go watch it for the fuck of
Premieres
it.
at number 6 in February.
Yeah, we're going to go
Cool.
see it.
What
No
is it?
idea why.
Can't remember. It's just some guy from Portsmouth.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see that from some guy in Portsmouth.
I just thought it might be quite interesting. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just scrolling through a list, just trying to see if there's anything else interesting, but I think we've covered.
Well, those are major ones. We're probably going to get
Those are
some
the
sort
major
of,
ones, yeah.
what's it, Sundance type film at some point in the next couple of
We'll
months.
get everything next
Yeah.
year that America got
This
2
year.
years ago.
Yeah. And this is why
ones.
these lists confuse the shit out of me, because I'm like, these films came out a million years ago.
What we didn't bring up, I don't know if it's going to come out here
What?
next year, is the new Miyazaki movie.
Oh, fuck yeah.
What one?
How Do You Live, it's called.
No,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know what the fuck you're talking about.
New Hayao Miyazaki movie.
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
As in you don't know who he is? Or
No,
you don't
no,
know?
I don't know what fit with the film that you're
Yeah,
talking
he's doing
about.
a new movie. It's coming out next year, but I don't, like I said, I don't know if it'll be out here. But
Oh. But will it come out next year? He's quite notorious for having his films come out
Yeah.
later than
yeah,
supposed
it's been
to.
delayed loads of
Yeah,
times.
that's-
But this is the first time he's set a definitive date.
Oh, okay.
So that makes me think it's going to be done.
Hopefully.
That's a movie I'd like travel to see.
Probably.
Cool.
I will
well,
see that.
yeah, exciting.
Next Goal Wins.
Yeah.
It's like a Waititi's new football movie.
Sorry.
I think that'll be interesting. We'll see. We'll see. We will see. Who's to say? New Fantastic.
No.
No, that's coming out in 2 years. In like 3 years' time. What Marvel shit's coming out next year?
They're
Guardians of the
scaling
Galaxy
it back,
3?
aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh,
That'll be pretty decent, I'm sure.
Apparently, the new Francis Ford Coppola movie, Megalopolis, is coming out. That's
Megalopolis.
That's like his passion project that he's been trying to make like his entire life.
Sorry, can you tell me what what you just said is?
Megalopolis.
What is
An
it though?
architect wants to rebuild New York City as a utopia following a devastating disaster. stars Adam Driver, Lawrence Fishburne, Forrest Whitaker, Aubrey Plaza,
What the fuck?
Shia LaBeouf,
Oh my god!
Jason Schwartzman.
I'm seeing it purely because Shia LaBeouf's in it.
I thought people had stopped hiring him.
Actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf.
He's like funded this himself, I think.
Fuck off!
It's like a huge budget that he's put in
That is
himself.
beautiful.
Like I said, it's his
God.
passion project. He's trying to make his whole life. So
Do you know what?
Francis Ford.
yeah,
I'll see it just because it's the biggest
That'll
passion
be
project
something, yeah.
known
I'll
to
see
man.
it. Like,
Megalopolis. I'll
It's
see
a
it on
terrible
that name.
name, yeah,
alone.
I'm
that's
hesitant
awful.
because he's not really done anything good
Who is
since
he?
like he did The
Pieces of a Woman.
Godfather, Apocalypse Now.
Oh, really?
Oh, right.
He's not done
Top of the
anything
Shire.
good since like the 80s. So.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I
thought you were talking about Shia, and I was like, he did Pieces of a
No.
Woman, and then they blacklisted him
Yeah,
from
I was talking
Hollywood.
about Francis Ford
yeah, no, I
Coppola,
didn't know
yeah.
who you. Yeah, I didn't know who you were talking about. No, Shia LaBeouf. He's a cool guy. He did that show that was on the Disney Channel.
What, Lizzie McGuire?
No, the other
No,
one.
Shia
the other
LaBeouf
one.
Hour.
No.
It's Lemonade Mouth.
Oh my god, what was it called? The one where I was gonna say where he's a boy.
I mean, he is a boy in that show.
Shia LaBeouf in A Boy.
I can't remember.
Even Stevens.
Even Stevens. That's the one. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
in that.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I think we've all established
This
we're going to have a lot of
podcast
fun
is-
next year with a
is
lot of good
gone off.
movies. 38 times I went to the cinema this year.
I think I went 24, 25.
Right, I'm
Yeah.
not even gonna.
It's too much for a
I'm not
normal
joining
person.
in this debate
It's
Yeah.
almost too
because
much
I've
for
probably
me.
been in about 5. I'm
Hopefully
joining this.
next year we'll go more.
I hope we don't.
I'm hoping to go less actually because I'd rather not go to View ever
Yeah.
again.
I want to try and watch more movies next year, like just throughout the year, so I'm not doing what I'm currently doing, where I'm trying to catch up on them all at the end of the year.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
really difficult when life exists.
Yeah, I had like surprisingly little to catch up on at the very end, but I did like steamroll through December,
Yeah.
just going to the
Mm.
cinema pretty much every other day, trying to catch Bones and All twice. You know?
Yeah, see, these are silly decisions because that was 3 hours or so. You could have watched a different
yeah,
movie.
excited for January where we get whatever America has vomited out onto our nation.
No, it's all the horror
Here you
movies
go,
that
you can
come
have
out.
these ones now.
So
Oh,
when's
thank you.
6 Cream meant to come out then?
Probably a summer one, isn't it? It's probably going to be a
I
summer
thought
blockbuster.
I thought it'd be in like Jan because that's when all the shit horror
What?
movies come out.
No.
I know it won't be, but
I
I
think
just-
it is actually quite soon.
They
February?
just came out with 5 Cream though.
Yeah, I know, but they probably filmed it back to back.
March 31st.
God bloody hell.
Okay,
Quick
Just
turnaround.
over
Yeah.
a year after the last one.
It's like
Okay.
they knew.
I'm telling you, they filmed it back
They
to back.
knew
and
it was
went,
gonna do-
Yeah, they did.
do numbers.
They fucking knew.
And we fucking saw it.
Yeah, we paid
Fuck's
straight into their
sake.
pockets. We funded this misery.
Well, this one I'm definitely not
Yeah.
seeing.
That's a good honourable mention, actually.
What, 5 Cream?
5
I
Cream.
like that a lot.
Yeah, it was
Also,
okay.
no
I didn't
one
mind
calls it 5 Cream.
don't
It's
want
just
any more.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's
The
5 Cream.
podcast call it 5 Cream.
I think I didn't even make that. I'm pretty sure I got that from Your Movie Sucks.
Wait,
I don't know.
what's the 6th one then? It's
Scream 6.
so it's like Screams, but
So
like
it's-
Scream.
No, it's
No.
Scream, Scream 2, Scream 3,
So
Scream 4M,
on
and then
oh, 5 Cream.
Scream, and
Right.
then
so the
Scream 6.
poster of Scream 6, it's the
Yeah,
Scream
where's the
logo, but it's Roman numerals for 6, and it's like part of the M.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
they really snuck it in there.
Yeah.
So
I don't
it's
mind that.
actually
It's pretty cheeky
it's
of them.
actually Scream life of
Yeah,
Scream life.
cheeky
Yeah.
little
To be fair,
Roman
It's
numeral in
better
there.
than a Scree 4M.
Yeah.
Scream. Do you know what? I'm not even mad
No,
about
it's
it,
funny.
to be honest.
It's
Yeah,
fun.
I think it's
I
clever,
bet.
actually.
That gets on my nerves less than Fan Four Stick.
Yeah.
Fan 4 Stick. I can't fucking believe it. Another great movie to watch. Right, anyway.
Righto. That brings us to the end of the episode, I'm sure. Thank you, 2022. It was a year. Next episode, we got some movies to talk about. We announced them in the last episode, but just to reiterate, it is a free-for-all. We're going to just pick any movie we want. So those are Phantom Thread, The Nice Guys, and Kiki's Delivery Service.
Yeah.
Join us for those. We got social media. Facebook, the Sunday Movie Facebook at Sunday Movie Marathon. Twitter at Sunday Movie Pod. Instagram at Sunday Movie Pod. What else we got? Letterboxd at Sunday MM. capital S, capital MM. Yeah, probably some others.
We start. This is what happens when you record for this long. You're like, we just lost steam. We just don't know.
Remember to like, subscribe, and rate the podcast 5 stars wherever you can do that. Any last words?
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Fuck it. Have a good one.
2000.
Make it all right. Hope it's not too devastating.
Yeah, no more.
Just like
no more shit.
Any New Year's resolutions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, did you really just say yeah?
See you next time.
Fucking hell.